All right, so I think the stream thinking about things ready to go though. So hello everybody, Megan ZardX here, back at it again to give y'all another very exciting podcast episode. That being my ZardCast episode 113. And man, it's been a kind of crazy couple of weeks, to say the least. Though, I mean, I felt like at least in the realm of video game news, I know stuff is starting to pick up because some of these game releases are starting to roll out in the month of October. It's starting to get really busy as of late, though, and we got our thoughts on a handful of games that we managed to pick up within the past couple of weeks, though. But in the meantime, of us all, we're gonna obviously talk about those handful of games. Oh shoot, man, every time Xbox shows their ugly face in this podcast, we can never say any good news. I know we talked about it in the last show, and a whole shoot, things have just gone completely down south since the last time we mentioned them in this episode, in a podcast episode. And oh man, we're gonna have a segment when we get there because it's not just one, it's not just two things. There's like 3 or 4 good solid points we got to bring up and discuss. Like holy shoot, though. So yeah, we're gonna be in for a good one. There's been a lot of stuff because Steven, New York Comic Con was going up in your area, so they managed to announce a few different things, at least in the Marvel realm of things as well. So we're going to talk about some stuff with that. It is spooky season and all, so I usually like to have some kind of spooky element or something like that brought up, which I think for this month. We'll have the podcast at least twice during the spooky month, though. So I always like to have something on point. So we managed to watch an episode of Marvel Zombies, so we're going to give our thoughts on that. And then a few other things in between, though. But, Steven, how's it going, man?
It is going good. I'm just kind of cleaning up my room, hanging out. Watched some shows earlier, kind of chilling. I wish I could say I have a day off tomorrow. I do not.
Hey, we gotta always hit that grind, don't we? I mean, you can't ever, I, I I feel like unless it's a holiday. Well, hold on. All
Tomorrow
right,
is
back
a
it.
holiday.
Tomorrow is a holiday, but it's a dumb old holiday. But you only
Well,
get that
yeah.
holiday off, I think, if you're, if you're going to school, because sometimes they'll give it off, and if you work for the government. Outside of that, no one else gets that day off. Columbus Day. Like, what kind of day is that?
Well, yeah, I agree. I think it's a stupid day off, but god damn it, I want to be off.
Oh gosh, I wish I could have it off, but no, man. Oh goodness, my line of work when the post office is closed, we just be on and popping at our place. I don't know. Anyway, though, that's neither here
Yeah,
nor there.
it's a
But
Monday. You're not gonna. Most post office ain't gonna be closed.
yeah, no. So yeah, we might as well go ahead and jump up in it though, because we got a good amount of stuff to go through and talk about in tonight's show. So let's go ahead and hop in it though. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight up into that pop culture segment. All right, Steven. So I know this little bit of news is going to make you pretty excited or pretty happy. It might make you happy, but it's certainly not going to make everybody else that's, what is it, one of the movie theater workers. They ain't going to be happy because they got to clean up that mess every time they yell out chicken jockey. They start swinging that popcorn around. Yes, I'm talking about the announcement that the Minecraft movie is getting a sequel with a second one. And it's coming out July 23rd in 2027. So a little less than 2 years away.
It's gonna be the movie event of all time.
No, gosh dang it ain't.
I I don't think we're gonna get another chicken jockey. I think they're gonna try to force it, and it's not gonna work because I don't know if you remember. A couple weeks after the Minecraft movie, they started doing these like block party editions where they were encouraging people to like go crazy. Do you remember that?
I honestly do not remember that.
But yeah, basically it was like, oh, block party edition. Come do all the chicken jockey bullshit you want. You know, chicken jockey your ass off. No one came to it. No one did. Like it was like lyrics were up on screen. It was like a sing along basically, but like it would show the lyrics for the meme moments on screen. It would have a countdown to like the meme moments. Like, dude, 3, 2, 1 till chicken jockey. It's very forced.
Hmm. Yeah, because
No one liked
I
it.
don't know who came up with that idea at first, just to go crazy during that moment though. But I just kind of felt
I
like
don't
it just
know.
caught on. I don't know.
I think it was just the trailer having such mixed reactions, the irony. Because remember, this movie only succeeded because of like irony. the pure ironic pure ironic sense of, oh, dude, I'm going to see the Minecraft movie, Lamau.
Yeah, and it's
You
kind
know,
of
a
funny
lot.
because I still hadn't seen the first one yet. 'Cause is it on streaming services yet?
I don't know. It's
If it is,
probably on HBO Max.
maybe. I'm kind of curious now. I gotta look this up. I mean,
Zard,
I need to sit down and
I
watch it.
could.
I need to sit down and watch it at some point. I know based on your little review when you talked about it in whatever episode it was when it actually did come out, you were like, "It's okay." I know it wasn't nothing great. It was just kind of just a enjoy the bull crap you're watching them pump
It
out on
is
the
the
screen kind of
listen.
thing.
It is an okay movie at best, but god damn it, I will watch it like 10 times over the course of my life.
Oh
I
boy.
will watch this movie again because it is such a good ironic rewatch. It is
Okay, it
so
is.
goddamn funny.
It is on
In
HBO
like every
Max. Mm.
Yeah, in every unintended way, it is the funniest movie ever. Okay? Like it's Jason Momoa, who plays one of the main characters, is really trying for some reason. Steve, you know, basically everything he says is a meme. Just Jack Black's delivery is on point, and the actual movie itself isn't really even that great. Like in terms of like the actual movie, it just has so much ironic enjoyment that I don't really know if they're gonna be able to capture that again with the second one, but we'll see.
Hmm. Yeah,
All
we'll see.
all I'll say is that the first movie kind of sets up characters that will be in the second movie, and we'll see if they get some funny actors for those guys.
Hmm. Yeah, so I'm kind of curious to see exactly how this is all going to play out. We'll see if whether or not if it kind of stays up to par. I mean, it's kind of funny though because I was visiting some family and stuff this past weekend for unfortunate circumstances or whatever. But regardless, it's always good to see family and stuff. And I have like a really young cousin. She's about like what like almost yeah, she just had a birthday or whatever though. So like around the 4 or 5 age gap, and it's kind of crazy because when you think about kids and stuff and seeing what they're kind of attached with, it's kind of interesting because I like to kind of survey people, kind of figure out whether or not they're gonna really like games or they're not gonna like games. Are they more like a mobile player or whatever though? And I don't know. I gosh, at the age of 4 and 5, it's kind of crazy because back then I was just barely almost about to mess with the N64, and she kind of a little addicted to watching like a bunch of Minecraft on YouTube, like just seeing people play or whatever. They make skits or stuff out of it or whatever though. And
Playing
it's stuff
bullshit.
like it's stuff like that I guess gets like the younger audiences all hooked on
Well,
Minecraft. And I know like when I was growing up, Minecraft wasn't a thing until like when I was in 8th or 9th grade, around junior high
yeah.
or whatever. I was playing on the PCs back in the day though, but it's crazy to see how far this thing has come. Really,
Well, because Minecraft is like the everyman's game. It can be anything. You can have Minecraft roleplay, Minecraft parkour maps where you're platforming. You can have Minecraft combat. You can do Minecraft survival, Minecraft just building stuff. Like you can do so much in Minecraft. It is an endless video game. It is definitely one of the most impactful games that has ever come out, but it comes at the cost of like having this whole ecosystem surrounding it. Minecraft as an ecosystem is timeless, like in its presentation, its art style, whatever you want to call it. It's constantly updating. It's still being updated to this day, so it has tapped multiple different generations. You know what I mean? There are arguably four different generations that have all grown up with Minecraft. There are like the Gen X 35 to 40-year-old YouTubers that started making content on the game when they were young adults. People like um what's a popular one that you would know? People
I
like
probably wouldn't know to be
I don't
honest.
know, well, just the old Minecraft YouTubers, the people that made it popular. You got that generation. Then you have millennials, the people that grew up watching that content and they are kind of in their 20s now, starting to become Minecraft YouTubers themselves. Then you have Zoomers like myself that like grew up with that content, like they were getting older as that content was getting older, kind of were like 5 or 6 when Minecraft came out, so it kind of hit their childhood at the perfect time, where they're finally growing up in their um either still playing the game when it gets updated or starting to make content for the game themselves. And then you have Gen Alpha, which is just recently discovering this game due to the 2020 craze. COVID, a bunch of Minecraft YouTubers got popular in 2020 all over again. It caused a whole thing.
Yeah, it's just kind of
And
crazy
then,
to see how far it has come, but
yeah, and then
it's
this,
understandable. I feel like that's just going to print money no matter how many movies they
well,
could probably make, to be honest.
at the end of the day, Minecraft will live on and raise the next generation too, because it's just such a creative game. You could just go into Minecraft and it's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple idea. You break blocks, you put blocks down, this and that.
Yeah,
You
it's
do
not
whatever you
super
want.
complicated, easy to get in. It's not necessarily hard to master. Well, I say that it's just more like trying to remember all the
The
crazy
controls,
combinations that you can do to make stuff. I guess is more so the thing.
yeah.
But yeah,
The controls of Minecraft are maybe the most annoying thing to get used to, but when I was a kid, the Xbox 360 version was coming out and that simplified it a lot.
yeah.
Like it's it's no wonder why the movie did so well with how many people it was appealing to, and knowing moviegoers and knowing the box office, there's no way this movie won't do well with how good the first one did.
No, yeah, I think it's gonna be a pretty solid showing. So, like, what we got? Not this summer, but the next summer. So, I don't know. I feel like there's quite a bit of movies kind of lined out for what will be next year, flowing into the year after. 'Cause I think 2027. That's the year. I think the Zelda movie's supposed to be coming out in the spring.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, like
yeah,
Incredibles 3 coming out, this movie, that movie. You're getting a lot of sequels that year, and then next year we kind of start the year with the Mario Galaxy movie.
yeah. So we got some good video game adaptation movies in the pipeline, though. So we'll see how all of that
Oh,
plays out.
Sonic 4 also comes out, I think, beginning of 2027.
Oh, I almost forgot about that one. Yeah.
Because they announced them really early.
Yeah,
They
they
announced
announced them
it
really
like
early, and then you just kind of go radio silent. Not much in the pipeline of anything until they
well,
basically hit you with the next trailer, and then it kind of
I think
drums up interest.
that's a good play. Get people interested. They can keep doing this and doing that, and then when they're ready, they release a trailer.
Yeah. So overall, not too bad, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty much all we can say about it now until we get that one fateful day where we get another trailer, and then we'll bring it back into the limelight once again. Though. But yeah, that's going to basically do it in terms of our little bit of a pop culture segment, just on that one bit of news for the Minecraft movie too. But now, because New York Comic Con was the thing, no, we got to get into a whole bunch of Marvel news now because man, they managed to hit us with a few good old things though, including what will be our little mini discussion on Marvel Zombies. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into that Marvel news. All right, Steven, we're going to take it one show at a time because I think they confirmed release dates for a few things that we kind of already knew was in the pipeline, including one that I guess is technically considered as a slight delay. And I think one of them, I think, is the first time that we kind of heard about because I don't think it was officially known in its full capacity of what it is. But we'll take it one step at a time. First up on the docket is Daredevil Season 2. We finally got a release date for this. We kind of knew that it wouldn't be happening, obviously, this year because we got it back earlier in the spring of this year. And I kind of, in my gut, kind of said, well, the way how they ended it, obviously there's more story to tell. They left it on the cliffhanger and whatever, though. So I knew there was going to be more coming forth, though. And yes, they did confirm that basically the new season of it will be, I got to pull up my little thing right here. It's going to be back, it's going to be March 2026. And Steven, I'm all here for it. I will still stand on this dying hill and say Daredevil, that season they did on Disney Plus, is arguably one of the best Disney Plus shows I will put up there with the Loki series. Because this mess hits on every single level. And it hits even harder if you happen to watch those, at least the first couple of seasons that was the original Netflix series or whatever, though. But the way how they ended it off, oh, there's so much potential and stuff. I'll go ahead and say this because I don't feel like it's a spoiler at this point, though. But the way how they're incorporating Punisher up in here too, oh man, I'm all up here for this mess though.
That,
Steven, you hadn't
well,
even
that's
managed
not a
to.
spoiler. I haven't watched it, but it's not a spoiler that Punisher's in it. It was in the trailers.
I think it was
He was
kind of
in the
more like a tease, but it wasn't like a clearly there, unless they put in some post stuff that I just hadn't seen about
Alright,
it.
well, it's been long enough. I can, Punisher's in the damn series, okay? Like, yeah, he's in it. And he's, Punisher's pretty cool. He kills people. He's epic. All that. I knew that it was coming soon because I'm pretty sure they were filming season 2 as season 1 was coming out or something stupid like that. It was like being filmed way in advance.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of picked up almost where it was left off. Doggone it, Steven, with your Fortnite Battle Pass little ringtone thing. I heard that through
It's
the whole
not
thing.
it's a default Android, whatever.
Anyway, no, but yeah, they did start up on that mess pretty early, so we kind of knew that more was coming on. I just wanted to know what month we were expecting. So it was basically almost a full year turnaround. Not too bad, to be honest though. But nah, the way how they left that cliffhanger though, I'm like, I'm all here. I'm ready for this mess though. Now, I'm ready to get my full review up on the part 2 of what this series will be though. Steven, and it disappoints me because you probably still hadn't sat down and watched this show. I'm telling you, man, this mess is good.
I'll get to it eventually.
Okay.
I think I'm pretty sure the episode of Marvel Zombies that I watched is quite literally the only Disney Plus Marvel show I've watched.
Really? Out
I'm
of
pretty sure.
every project
Yes.
they put out since, what was it,
Yes.
2020? I think it's when they
Yes,
kind of started this.
yes, I read the cliff notes for WandaVision. I've seen clips on YouTube of a couple scenes of What If. I didn't even care for Miss Marvel. Loki, I just heard the cliff notes and I seen clips, and I kind of got the gist of what happened in Loki from watching Deadpool and Wolverine. Like that movie and also Ant-Man and the Wasp kind of go into that. Either way, though, yeah, I have not given a single shit about any of these.
Dang, Steven. Dang. Oh gosh. I mean, I'm the only one I say obviously you can't watch. I won't allow you to watch, and I don't think you ever had plans on watching is She-Hulk. That's the one I will kick in the trash and act like it never happened. Every other show is average or extremely good. I haven't really ran outside of She-Hulk. I don't think I ever ran into another Disney Plus series where it's just like gosh awful. I say that though, but then there's not Miss Marvel, Ironheart. Or to this day, I still only watched episode 1. I think some other stuff popped up or something like that. I don't know. There were some things up in that first episode that kind of put me off. I was like, I don't know. But I just never got around to watching the rest of it. But after watching the Marvel Zombies thing, kind of reminded me, shoot, I need to see how this mess plays out for better or for worse. So that way I kind of know about it. Anyway, that's a problem for another day though. But regardless though, Daredevil Born Again. That's coming out in March of 2026. I'm really looking forward to that mess, though. And I know a lot of people, or at least if you're a Daredevil fan, really looking forward to that as well. Now, the other one, Steven, I think you showed or expressed some kind of concern or interest in this, though. Wonder Man. Originally, that was supposed to conclude out the ending of 2025. I think it was originally scheduled to have a release date of like December of 2025. But then that it got slightly a little bit delayed now because now it's not going to air until like January 27th is whenever they're going to finally start to get that thing kickstarted and stuff. Have you seen the little, I don't know if you can call it a teaser or I don't think it's really a preview. It was more like a teaser, I guess.
It was the one from like a year ago where like it's a guy playing the character of Wonder Man in universe, right? Or something along those lines.
Yeah, but this little teaser trailer that they had was like they were interviewing the dude that originally did the old school Wonder Man stuff, and I was like, wait, I was like, dang, I think I've seen some of this footage before though, and I guess they're just playing a playoff of, hey, we're coming back with this dude, and yeah, we messed around with this dude before though, and it might not have been the best portrayal of this character though. But we're gonna take another crack at him, kind of ordeal kind of thing. So not a serious trailer, but it's more like, hey, get yourselves ready because this dude about to make a comeback kind of ordeal though. So it kind of gave you an idea of what they're kind of thinking, but not really giving you too much. And that's kind of where they left it at right now. We're still kind of waiting on like a good actual official trailer though, but I don't know. We just gotta be a little bit more patient on that though. But I can't really say too much about this because I hear about some stuff about Wonder Man, but I hadn't really seen that character in action or there been comic books. I hadn't read anything about him. I hadn't seen anything from like a Marvel like animation, like a cartoon or anything. I hadn't seen this character at all. So he's like a brand new hero to me. I hadn't seen or heard about anything on this dude. Have you?
Curious. Well, about Wonder Man? No,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
do not know anything. I'm curious though. You said January 2027?
Oh no. Oh, if I said that, excuse me.
Did you
January
mean January 27th?
2026. It's like a month
Okay.
away. It's January
Okay.
27th, 2026. Oh
I
gosh.
was about to fucking say, like,
No,
Jesus,
not
that's a
that. No,
big
not that
delay.
long of a delay. Oh crap, no.
Either way, though, yeah, I don't know. I'm somewhat interested. I don't know exactly how it's gonna play into things, if it's even gonna play into things, or if it's just takes place in the MCU, but it's not gonna matter. That'd be kind of refreshing. Just, oh, it takes place in the MCU, but it probably won't be coming back. Just a one-off thing.
Well, I like a pure one-off thing is kind of like what was it? It was a year. No, not
Where the
year. I think
werewolf thing?
yeah, like where whatever they call that thing, but the werewolf thing though, that was kind of like a one-off, a pure one-off in the truest sense.
Yeah, like,
But I don't think they will do that for this dude. I feel like he will get incorporated somehow in the movies in some kind of way though. But yeah. Well, I don't know. He might be a character very similar to Moon Knight. Like we only saw Moon Knight in his series, and that's it. There's been no other connections or ties to anything else as it stands now. So I'm thinking something very similar, but with Wonder Man will be the same effect, really. But I think outside of that, can't say too much on it though. But I'm glad we finally got a hardcore release date on it now, since we're kind of almost right up to whenever this thing is supposed to air. So that was another nugget of news that we got from Marvel. And then lastly, I would say that the most interesting one, and Steven, you could say some stuff about this one though, because this one we kind of got a little bit more information on, even though we don't necessarily have a trailer though. But they did confirm that there's going to be the first details on the series that's called Vision Quest. Now, this is going to be, the whole series for this one stars around Vision. And if you know anything what happened at the end of WandaVision, and now it's been so long, I mean, spoilers, I
yeah,
can't really hold back on
I
that
got,
anymore, though.
I got the cliff notes. Don't worry, I got the
But
cliff
yeah,
notes.
basically at the end of that series, though, the Vision that we knew of, it's sort of kind of gone, and he's just like a white canvas. Like literally, the dude's like straight white, and apparently has all the memories of the old Vision, the one that died off at in Avengers Infinity War way back when. Gosh, that's a while ago. He has all of his memories and stuff like that. Knows about Wanda and everything else, their connections and stuff though, but doesn't have like the emotional attachment. It's like knowing all your book knowledge and not being able to kind of fully relate. It's kind of where we're at with this dude
Well,
though.
yeah,
But
it's like if I woke up and I found out, oh, I'm in someone else's body, and oh, my wife just died. Like, how I can't really feel that too terrible.
yeah,
Like it's not my wife, type of deal. Like I get it. Um, I remember here. Yeah, so he's like, it's yeah, because he's like brought back, kind of like technically Vision is back, but not like really.
yeah, it's kind of like
And
the same kind of deal what they did with oh gosh, like with Guardians of the Galaxy with Gamora. Like yeah, she was there, but that wasn't like her in the truest sense. Kind of same effect. But that's not even the main kicker, Steven, because apparently some other people that are supposed to show up in this series, get this, Ultron, Friday,
finally,
Edith, Dummy, and Jarvis all appear and somehow have human forms in this series.
well, that's
I'm like,
that's
huh?
weird. Well, I don't know. James Spader is like an actor, so like he'll probably do a good job as Human Ultron. I don't know. It's mostly all of Tony Stark's AIs. I don't know if they're gonna do something interesting to where they've all been uploaded to the same server.
I don't.
But like I thought the whole point is that Ultron was like gone.
That's
The
what
whole
I'm.
point
That's
of
what
Age of
I'm
Ultron.
thinking. Yeah,
Well,
because
like, yeah, the whole point is that if he got like uploaded to the internet, he'd like stick around. There's a possibility that he like, oh, he kept himself alive in secret so he could plan again. But
I,
like,
yeah. The more and more
I
we
don't
get
know.
more of these shows and some of these
It's
movies, I wasn't expecting that many movies to have that many ties back to the Age of
it's
Ultron. It's kind of funny when we sit back
it's
and think about it, though. But
because
I'm like,
yeah, it's just
oh,
well, yeah, yeah. Age of Ultron really did have a lot of ideas that can move the MCU forward. As much as people don't like that movie, I'm kind of iffy on that movie myself.
I
But
like
still,
it. I
like
like it. For
I think Ultron could have been a better villain. I just thought he was a little too jokey. I don't like how jokey he
he was
is,
jokey,
and
but at
also,
the same time, he threw it, but he meant like, oh, I'm throwing this joke, but I'm still gonna kill you at the end of the day, kind of.
well, I
At least that's
like
the vibe I got. I still like
well,
them.
I like what he does at the beginning with the Pinocchio line. Like that's a jokey
He's
line,
like,
but also
there are
kind of
no strings
unsettling.
on me.
Well, yeah, I feel like he should have been like that the whole movie. He has like a line later where it's like clear, like was it someone says you got to break a few eggs? You're like we don't have to, we d- we don't have to break any eggs, and he's like clearly you've never made an omelet or something.
Yeah.
Like I know he's made by Tony Stark, but like Jesus fuck. Back on track though. It's cool to see him back. I hope they do something interesting with him though. I don't know. Maybe Ultron's the key to like Vision truly coming back.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe Ultron has some kind of backup of Jarvis or
I
however.
feel like because he technically, I mean, I feel like there's a bit of Ultron even in Vision, so
Yeah.
that might be the parallel or something like that. But
Well,
the fact
yeah.
that we have
Yeah.
him and Jarvis, which Jarvis is technically a part of him as well, it's like okay.
What?
Friday, I think, is the AI that Ironheart creates, so I know three of these
No.
things, or at least
Friday.
associates with.
Yeah, Friday is the one that Tony Stark uses in Endgame and beyond, or in Infinity War and in Homecoming. Basically, after everything happens with Ultron, he uses Friday, and then Edith is the one inside of the glasses that Peter Parker gets.
Dang. Okay, I
Yeah.
knew I forgot about Ed. I mean, Friday was familiar and stuff
See,
because I know
I know MCU
Ironheart
shit.
messes. I know Ironheart messes with Friday and stuff too as well. There's a little bit of relationship between them two with both that one. Edith, I really forgot about Edith to be
Yeah,
honest
from
though. I was like, wait,
Far
what?
From Home.
Oh gosh, but what is
Far From Home.
Dummy
It's
though? That's the only one I really.
See, it's a good thing I've watched Iron Man 1 about 5 times because Dummy is the one that's wearing like the dunce cap, the little crane thing that like Tony Stark keeps bullying in the first
Oh
two
gosh,
movies.
it is that one. I looked it up. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh
He's
gosh.
it's the one that he keeps bullying, the one that like sprays the shit on him when he's doing the flight test
Yeah,
and it
never mind.
sprays the
That is
fire
him. Oh
extinguisher
my
on him.
gosh. All right, so we
I
pretty
know,
much messed out.
well, yeah, he's probably got some like connection with Tony Stark that he's gonna go on about. I didn't think he was an actual AI, but like Tony Stark did talk to him.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of I think it's somewhat an interesting concept, mostly because it's a bunch of characters that have been introduced, but nothing's really ever been done with them.
Yeah.
Especially Vision. Like Vision is kind of one of the more interesting characters just because of like the whole nature of his upbringing and how he came to be and him finding out like oh I have all these memories of my wife and I have these memories of these children and this and that these children aren't real and then him finding out about what has happened since then with Wanda if well, that's if if the general public even knows what Wanda did. Like, does the general public in the MCU know that Wanda
Nah.
like genocided an
Heck no.
entire other universe and
Heck no.
also like destroyed Kamartaj? I don't know. I feel like that would have gotten out somehow. Either way, though, Wanda's probably gonna come back. I feel like this is the only. You're doing a series about Vision.
Oh
It's
no,
gonna
she
put.
she definitely coming back because technically this is the way how they talked about and said it. This is like the third and what would be kind of like the final show for the
Trilogy, right?
WandaVision trilogy. Like it started with
So
WandaVision,
hopefully
flowed
this
over to Agatha all along, and ended with Vision Quest. So
if I had to make a guess, they're probably gonna find a way to put Wanda's kids, like their souls, inside of like artificial bodies like Vision has. And they'll actually be able to have a real family or something.
I mean, if we're gonna have Ultron, we're gonna have all these other AIs that Tony made in human bodies make appearances, then I guess it's not gonna be too far off the mark with what you said about
Yeah,
Wanda's kid, quote unquote kids.
because
But yeah,
because as stupid as it was in Doctor Strange 2, Wanda kind of forgives it. Like she gets over it by the end of the movie. Like by the end of Doctor Strange 2, she gets over it. She's no longer evil, which is the quickest turning point for a genocidal maniac ever. But that's besides the point. She gets over it, blah blah blah, quote unquote sacrifices herself. She'll show up in this some way. If it is some kind of simulation that Vision's inside of with human Jarvis and the other human AIs, maybe Wanda's the one that's corrupting it.
mm.
Maybe it's like maybe it's a parallel to WandaVision, where this is Vision's paradise that's being destroyed by Wanda.
Yeah.
It's like
So
poetry, it rhymes. I don't know. There's interesting things. Like they're finally doing MCU shows that I'm somewhat interested in because they probably won't matter at all to Secret Wars, so I can just enjoy it as a show.
yeah, I mean, because the only thing you really kind of, well, I mean, between like what WandaVision, Agatha on Vision Quest, and Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, you watch those three shows with that one movie, and you kind of get Wanda's whole story post Endgame all wrapped up into one, basically. But
Yeah, because they've been trying to set up Young Avengers for how long?
and
Vision
I
is
think there's a
better
lot
than
of
any of
potential
those
for Young
characters.
Avengers. Which
They
I mean,
squandered it all.
Wanda wouldn't be part of the Younger Avengers or whatever though. But like,
Her
gosh
son
dang.
would.
Oh,
Her son
okay.
probably would.
Her son,
I think he's
yes.
I think
Mm.
he's in some of the concept art for an upcoming movie. I'm not gonna say which or how or what.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the potential is still there. They just got to find a way to wrap and tie all these people up, and ideally a better way than maybe Thunderbolts did with their characters. But that's neither here nor there.
Well,
Well,
Thunderbolts actually did a good job of bringing back old characters and doing something with them. I will still hold the opinion that Thunderbolts is the best MCU movie since Guardians 3. I don't know. Deadpool and Wolverine was cool and all, but like I don't know. I really liked Thunderbolts.
hmm, okay. Well, I think outside of that, that might be pretty much all of the information that we have as it stands now for Vision Quest. Unfortunately, I don't think they really gave us like a
Trailer.
not no for sure they did not give us a trailer, absolutely not. They just basically said a vague it's coming out some point in 2026, we just don't know when. So if we were to look at the whole MCU slate for 2026, like right now as it stands, January 27th we got Wonder Man. Daredevil Born Again season 2 is March 2026. There is going to be, and I didn't even have this on my little notes though, but it is a thing. X-Men the 97 like cartoon,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
it's
that.
getting a season 2 and it's coming out summer of 2026. And you got Spider-Man Brave New Day, that's July 31st. And then wait, what the heck is this? Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man season 2. Gosh, I still had not seen all this, not all. I hadn't even sat down to watch episode 1 of season 1. But apparently they're doing a season 2 as well, but that's fall of 2026. Then you have Vision Quest at some point in 2026, so I imagine that's going to be second half of next year. And then you have Avengers Doomsday, and that's December 18th of 2026. So that's all we have in the market right now in terms of all the shows and movies. So two movies and about one, two, three, four, and about five different shows. Two of them are like sequels of stuff that happened like this year. But yeah.
Is Doomsday still 2026?
It's two yeah. Originally it was supposed to be May of 2026 and they kicked it back
I
to
gotcha.
yeah, they kicked it back
You know,
and Spider-Man's still kind of staying in the same spot as where it was. It was supposed to be in between the two Avengers movies, but now it's before both of them.
I'm really worried about Doomsday because so far the only movie that we have that even remotely sets up the main villain or the main characters is Fantastic Four. In Fantastic Four, it does a good job at setting up the Fantastic Four, definitely. It does a fucking terrible job of setting up like anything involving Doctor Doom.
Which I mean, I don't feel like you might not have to have like a crazy amount of setup. Because think about,
Oh,
I
but
guess,
like,
I mean, because even if you think back to the first Avengers movie, I mean, Loki was the primary threat, right? I guess we got to
you know
learn a
what?
good bit of information thanks to the first Thor movie on how Loki was. But like we didn't think or expect he would be an Avengers level threat by the time we got to that first Avengers movie. Then you look at a threat like Ultron in the second movie or the second Avengers movie. Ultron wasn't a thing prior to phase 1 or even phase 2 up in that moment. He became a villain in that movie, and yet still is pretty iconic. No one really kind of forgot the dude since then. I mean, and here we
Yeah,
go
like,
again with Thanos had a ton of build up, though we only got to see him briefly in a couple of instances, but we saw ramifications of
well,
things that kind
yeah.
of played towards it. Yes.
Well, they'd have to pull like a whole, yeah, they'd have to do Thanos again, which come on, Doctor Doom. I don't know how much you know about Doctor Doom, but he's such a fucking interesting character. He's got a lot going on, but like he's got a lot you got to get right. He's like a magician, like he's got magic, but he's also extremely intelligent, and he has like a fucking army of robots. But then he also has this extreme hatred for Reed Richards, but then he also rules a country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got a lot going on. I think the right play would have been making a solo Doom movie. Personally, maybe that's crazy. I personally think they should have made a movie all about Doom, so we get to know him. We almost kind of understand where he's coming from, and it sets up how he might know Reed Richards or why he might want to conquer the multiverse or whatever he's doing.
Yeah, because I know whenever that Doctor Doom movie comes out, a lot of it is going to be centered on just that character, because
It should
the
be.
whole movie it's all themed around him. But yet he's not going to be a one and done villain for just that one movie. He's obviously going to show up and have an appearance and stuff in Secret Wars as well. Like the threat will still exist into another movie as well. But I don't, it depends on the balance of it, and I'm pretty sure when that movie comes out, it's gonna be a 3 hour long movie. It ain't gonna be like like
Well,
two
yeah,
hours and some
you get.
change.
It's gonna be like Infinity War. You're gonna have three squads. You're gonna have your squad, including the Thunderbolts and the Young Avengers, that stays on Earth, probably fighting off Doombots or something. You'll have your main squad that stays on Earth. You'll have your quote unquote main squad, including Thor and whoever else is left, going straight for Doom, and then you'll have the Fantastic Four as like a third party, like also tracking
Yeah,
him or
they'll
doing
basically
something
pull
else.
the Guardians
Well,
card
yeah,
or
I think
whatever, and just show up like what we
I
got
think
teased
four
with
of
at the end of what was it, Captain America Brave New no no, that's at the
yeah,
end of Thunderbolts. My bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the Fantastic Four will get split up. Like maybe two of them will go into space, two of them will stay on Earth, or this and that. You know, have the Fantastic Four interact with characters we already know, this
Mm.
and that, to properly like blend them in. We'll see. You got a lot of interesting stuff. I'm very interested on what Captain America could even do, because yeah, he's
He's gonna be the main
I
coordinator between all
no
of the
yeah,
fronts, but yeah.
because I like Sam Wilson Captain America more than other people, but he needs a chance to prove himself as like a leader. Because he's not necessarily a leader yet. He just has won battles on his own. He didn't lead anything in Brave New
I
World.
mean, because he really hadn't had the opportunity to kind of do it, and they kind of squandered what they could have done, and what could have been a well-established Phase 4. But that's neither here nor there, though. But
Yes.
yeah, we kind of strayed off for quite a bit though. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all of our thoughts on Vision Quest as it stands now. Though I'm really looking forward to this series when it comes out, because mostly everything that's been tied to Wanda series I've been really liking. Whether or not I really love Wanda, the character herself, I get frustrated with her at sometimes. Kind of wish I could choke her out here and there, though. But everything else surrounding her is usually always pretty fun, just kind of seeing how it all plays out. But anyway, though, that
Sorry, you can't say that.
I said the
I can't.
character, not the person itself. Like you know what
You
I
made
mean.
you made me fucking spit out my drink.
I'm
You
sorry,
you
Steven.
you owe me a paper plate. God
Oh,
damn it.
flavor play. Oh gosh. No, I get frustrated with her character half the time. Oh shoot. Anyway, though, that's gonna be it in terms of Vision Quest right there. Now let's go ahead and jump into the last little bit of Marvel news, or not really Marvel news, but more like a Marvel discussion. Because me and Steven, we both sat down. It is the spooky season and stuff, and I like to have something kind of spooky or related on the show though, because we both sat down and watched Marvel Zombies. It's a 4-episode event. If you were to shove all 4 of the episodes together, because they're all about roughly about half an hour ish, you basically will get a 2-hour long movie. But we managed to sit down shortly before this podcast episode was about to air and at least watch episode 1. The goal is to try to finish all the rest of the series so we can talk about it in the next episode after this. But that first episode, Steven, honestly, that mess was really good. I wasn't expecting it to. I know when you have like Marvel and zombies and stuff like that, you knew it wasn't gonna be like nothing shabby or whatever though. But I like seeing all the different like oddball connections and stuff like that between all these different characters. Because at the start of the episode, you had Miss Marvel, you had Kate Bishop as like the younger version of what would be like a Hawkeye, and then you had Ironheart. So the 3 of them, they were like buddy tag team mission and like a post-apocalyptic world because they knew the zombie threat and stuff was real, and they were trying to find ways to kind of not only just survive but see if they could kind of course correction all the stuff that happened to be going down though. And oh shoot, they did some things up in this little show, to say the least. Though I did like all the animation and all the different tie-ins and stuff like that. There was one scene where it was like all the zombies and stuff facing like the zombies of like I guess it was like a good versus the evil side or whatever. Though was that a zombified version of Abomination running
Yes.
across? Okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay, I was pretty sure about that. I was like 95%
So
sure. Oh
I
gosh.
have thoughts on that episode. I went into it not knowing anything, and I at first that first 5 minutes I really wasn't liking it for one specific reason: the voice acting. For some reason, I don't know if you felt it. I don't know if you have an ear for it, but as someone who's like watched a lot of cartoons and watched a lot of animated movies, I don't know if it's their actual live action voice actors. They are fucking horrible
Well,
in the
hold.
first 5 minutes of
I
this.
was kind. I was kind of. I mean, I didn't think they were necessarily bad, but it's always weird seeing these characters that you're associating with either the movies or some of the Disney Plus
Oh,
shows. So you have a neck and an ear for
yeah.
some of them, and then when it's a different voice actor, it kind of puts you off. In some of the
Well, no.
past animated shows, like when you look at the What If series, they have been able to get some of the the original actors behind the actual characters to do it, but then at some points they use other people. So it's always
Well,
weird with Marvel
no,
animation.
that's the problem though. They usually always get voice actors or talented actors. I'm looking for Miss Marvel and Ironheart, the ones that I had a problem with. They got the actual actors, which Miss
Yeah,
Marvel
so
is
Ironheart, yeah, and Miss Marvel, yes, you're right.
Miss Marvel is just kind of like annoying. She has that one scene where she's like interrupting every single sentence. Ironheart would say something and she's like, "Eh, eh, eh, eh," and then someone else would say something and she's like, "Eh, eh, eh, eh." I don't remember what she said. She was just being a jokester. She was being a jokester. They do not. They can't fucking act for shit. They can't voice act for shit. I guess because they do not sound like they are in like an apocalypse and everyone they know has died and this and that. I just do not like, especially how Ironheart sounds. She just does not sound like she's trying. Like all of
Huh.
the lines seem like weirdly stilted. It feels like they needed like a couple more takes, but only got one take. Um, the something about like the mixing. She's like overly quiet
Oh,
compared to everyone else.
oh. So get this.
I
So
call it a nitpick, but it
hold
really
up.
fucking distracted
All
me
right, so
when it's
I had to pull up the receipts, Steven. I had to pull up
yes,
the
pull up the
receipts.
receipts, get them.
You said you had a problem with Hawkeye, correct?
No,
Oh, not Hawkeye. It was
and
you said Miss Marvel and
Ironheart,
Ironheart, right?
Ironheart, and Miss Marvel, but only at the beginning of the episode. Miss Marvel was kind of annoying. Like when they actually give her something to do, I'm starting to like her a little more. I like
Okay.
her. I like the way they show her powers. The animation was decent. It felt like a little low budget with like the movements, like the way they move felt a little low budgety, but like the effects were pretty good. Like when a character uses their powers or when there's like blood splatters, that looked pretty good. It's
Okay.
just the way they move.
Okay, so I was kind of curious on the voice acting. So, like what we said, Miss Marvel, same Miss Marvel in the show. Ironheart, Riri, same actor in what we had in the Ironheart show. I was curious about Hawkeye, or Kate Bishop, because that was not her voice. I could recognize that without a shadow of a doubt. She's actually being played by Haley Steinfeld, who technically is the same person that voiced Gwen Stacy in the Spider Verse movies. So that
I didn't
that
have a
might be why you
problem.
didn't have a problem with her. I mean, she's kind of used to, been
She's a
there, done
voice
that.
actor.
Yeah, been there, done that. Like we heard her voice before in a different form of art. So she was fine. And then
Like yeah, she was okay, but like yeah, I'm looking at the voice actor list right now too. First of all, Blade was fucking awesome.
oh no, holy
Okay.
shoot, Blade, man, that man was a straight punk. I was like, bruh, this dude was hacking and slashing and like having like a spidey sense on
Yeah.
on a stage
Yeah.
10. I don't know how he knew all of that mess was about to happen. He
Conchu.
was like, bro, you just
Conchu
need
was
to
telling him.
duck or whatever though, and then he was like hacking and slashing at people and not halfway looking. The dude was a straight punk, man. He was like one of the coolest people up
Whatever
in the
that
show.
360 shot at the end when he's fighting Ghost.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck?
Either way though, yeah, very the moment Blade enters the episode, it infinitely gets better.
Yeah,
It's
no.
that's it. That's it. There's nothing. It's like everything with Ironheart is fucking lame. She's like, "Oh, go on without me, Friday. Take her away. Just Friday, take both of you away." Just
I get, they got to do some stuff for the plot,
she's the
whatever.
one that's more. Not only is she the one that is more capable, she's also the tech person, so she would know what to do with the device. What if she got to the shield base and there was no one to help her decrypt the device?
I don't know. It's lucky that she ran into another group of people that probably had somewhat an idea to
That's what
kind
I'm
of do
saying.
some
Like,
stuff. I don't know.
which, by the way, yeah, the episode definitely gets better in that second half. That first half, it doesn't even really establish anything.
The
I
first
can't
half
even
was just
say,
kind of like setting up
yeah,
the
like
playing field, like just kind of knowing what they're dealing with, sort of kind of
I
thing.
guess. I know you probably have to watch What If to find out what it is, but like
Oh yeah, because
the
what
way
if
they don't even
yeah, because
establish the
I was trying to
the
remember the
way they don't
connection. Yeah, what
establish the
if
sickness.
yeah, because what if actually showed that there was actually I think there's a couple of zombie related episodes at this point in what if. I remember seeing one of them. I hadn't seen the other one yet. But yeah, but you did catch that one line towards the end of the first episode, like who was like the spearhead of all of this, right?
Yeah, well, I can say it because it's in all the fucking trailers. I don't care about spoilers for this.
Yeah, that's the reason why I
Um,
want to halfway shake
we're
that
watching
woman half the
episode one.
time. Yeah,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so Wanda
yeah,
is the queen of the dead,
yeah.
but she's kind of
It's crap like
interesting.
that that makes you want to shake that woman to death. Because I'm telling you, man,
Oh
she's
my!
always at
Oh,
the she's at the root of the problem every single gosh
well,
dang
she's
time.
a zombie. It makes a little bit more
I
sense.
don't care if she's living, breathing, or on her last breath. She's the cause of a lot of different crap up in the Marvel universe as a whole. It's crazy. Like I'm done with it. Like oh shoot.
She isn't really the cause of a lot. I guess she kind of sets the events of Civil War in motion, but that's it.
I don't
In
know.
Infinity War, her sacrifice doesn't even mean anything. She kills Vision, and then Thanos is like, "Nuh-uh." So,
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, though,
it,
I did
yeah,
like this episode. The animation was pretty cool. I like most of the voice acting in comparison to what you just said. I mean, yeah, it did feel weird the first few minutes. I ain't gonna lie though, but then you get
no,
used to it, and then I'm like, okay, whatever. It is what it is.
it's specifically Ironheart is, in my opinion, fucking terrible in this first episode. Listen, I'm not racist, okay? I'm just gonna say it right off the bat. I know people hate the Ironheart show for any other reasons. I just don't think that the actor is very good at voice acting, personally.
I mean, and I mean that could be respectable
But
because I
like,
know sometimes acting as a character in like her show is one thing versus voice acting where it's similar, but yeah, also its
I,
own form of art because I mean you got to get the lip sync right, you got to portray the emotions and stuff with what's actually going on with
yeah,
the animation and
like
stuff. I know it's two
I
different
think
forms, but yeah,
I think the concept of Ironheart, like this, this girl that looked up to Tony Stark and like, tried to do what he did, is interesting because that's the whole point. It's like he was an idol. He was inspiring people. Like, that's what a hero does. It's like it's supposed to show that there are people in the world that, Tony Stark didn't just do what he did because he was a billionaire. Anyone can do what he did if they put their mind to it. It doesn't matter where you come from. Which is, it's a very noble thing. The issue is finding out how to make her actually interesting,
yeah, yeah.
like, which I haven't seen them do it yet, and I haven't watched that Ironheart show, but from what I heard, it's really nothing special. Either way, though, she's fine in this, I guess. She just says half of her what she says is weird mumbo jumbo. Did you kind of get bored by her talking in the beginning about that device? Like, oh, it uses quantum space, this and that, to
Oh,
send
did
out
she
an
say something
encoded,
about?
encrypted
I think she
signal.
said
But like,
something. She said something about pin particles, and then when I
but
heard
yeah,
pin
but like,
particles, I was like, "Oh, that's the Ant Man kind of tied thing or
yes.
whatever."
But I was just getting so fucking bored of her talking about it. Replace her with Ant Man's daughter. Honestly. She also knows about Pym particles. She could have fucking just been there instead. Either way, though, that's enough complaining about the beginning of Marvel Zombies. When they actually started killing zombies, and when Red Guardian showed up and was having this big thing about, oh, the fight with Captain America.
Captain
Yes,
America was savage, moving around
they
on the
will,
two arms like
they,
that. Like, oh
they will
shoot,
sing,
man!
they will sing about this fight for the ages, and then he like kicks his nuts and bites him in the leg, which
I don't know
which
how that didn't turn
maybe
into a zombie though, but maybe
yeah,
he
I
had a
was gonna.
lot of leather or something.
It
Maybe
still
it didn't get
hurt.
down to his skin. I guess I don't
Well,
know.
that's what's confused. That's what confused the fuck out of me because like, uh, Ironheart, she uses like some kind of serum to, I guess, cure her or
I don't know if
prevent
that was
it.
cure or slowed her down. We didn't get to see the full effect of it though, because I mean, she was just kind of left it on
Yeah.
that cliff. But
Either way, though, I like what they're doing with the characters introduced in Black Widow. Like, they've been showing up a decent amount. Red Guardian is always fun to see. He's being played by David Harbour, the actual actor. He's great every time he shows up as Red Guardian. Um, that whole section of the episode is interesting, just with like the zombies raiding the base and the way they were able to control the zombies, kind of.
mm-hmm.
Like you would think that you would just be able to make them all kill themselves en masse, but I guess they use them as protection or whatever they said. Either way, though, like, yeah, no, I'm maybe gonna watch the rest of it. I gotta see. It really just was that first couple minutes of the episode where it's like overly jokey, and they're like, "Oh, you're my best friend. We're such friends. We're good friends. This and that." Like, thank God they're not doing a Young Avengers movie anytime soon because these characters, in my
I could
opinion,
see
do
potential.
not have
I like how
good
you say that
chemistry.
though, but I could see the potential in it. I mean, I think there could be some chemistry. Yes, you got to build it up. You can't just like kind of just throw them all up in it though. But between like Kate Bishop and what could be Ironheart, yes, I know
I
technically, I guess Miss Marvel will be the youngest one out of all of them because both of those two characters would be in college, whereas Miss Marvel is like young high school or like early junior high or something like that, right around that age gap though. And then
yeah, I
outside
don't
of
know.
that, I don't know who else you would be able to throw up in there unless you threw oh gosh, what would be oh gosh, what do you even call that character? The one that showed up in Doctor Strange the Multiverse of Madness, the one that could actually hop around between different universes.
America Chavez.
Yeah. I mean, she would have been like another candidate. I guess the kids from Wanda or whatever, and I don't know if they would pull something weird and said Thor's child, or they would have said,
Probably not.
or the
Thor 5
child
is
of
just gonna.
Hulk or something like that. But I don't know. Anyway,
It's,
though,
it's a lot of stupid bullshit they've come up in the last couple of years. Either way,
and I
though,
guess it could be
um,
Peter Parker as well, if anybody
listen,
could remember to do. But yeah,
yeah, I'm pretty sure Spider-Man, from what I've seen in the trailer, is in one of these future episodes, so I might watch it just to see him. Um, Blade was awesome. Okay, Blade was the highlight. It kind of does almost make me excited to see what they could do with Blade in the MCU, but you'd really have to get some really good director. You'd have to make that movie saucy as hell.
Yeah, I know that's been going through like production, direction issues and stuff like that. It was supposed to be a thing already, but the can has been kind of kicked down the road though.
I think it's gonna be canceled. Like for Blade of all characters having this much trouble, like Deadpool, it made sense for it to kind of be in development hell. Deadpool made a lot of money. He's a recognizable character now, but like, who fucking cares about? Well, like, who in the general public cares about Blade? Like, I think Blade's cool, but like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, outside of that, I think that's pretty much all of our thoughts on Marvel Zombies. You'll hear at least my thoughts, maybe Steven's thoughts about basically a whole series as a nutshell, because or as a nutshell in a nutshell, because that's basically only 25% of the thing. And I'll make time to make sure I watch the last 3 episodes, so that way I kind of got a
I'll
greater picture of everything. You're gonna commit, Steven, for the people.
I'll I'll fucking
It's only
commit
an hour
only
and a half.
be
It's not even an hour and a half because like the last
listen,
minutes are
Zard.
like credits and stuff.
I'm only gonna commit because I seen Blade in the thumbnail for episode 4, so I know
Oh,
you
he's
at least
still
have.
living. Oh shoot! All right, yeah, my man's in it. All right, yeah, we good. We good then. We good. Because normally, sometimes
I'm
they like to
watching.
kill. They like to kill.
Well,
The diverse people
yeah,
off pretty early,
well,
dog. They
yeah,
scan it
I
to the
know
end.
the whole meme with like horror movies and all that is that the black guy always dies first. Well,
Yeah.
guess what? Kate Bishop died pretty fucking gruesomely, so
Oh
I think we're
gosh,
safe.
man, she got annihilated. Like, oh
Well,
shoot.
I don't know. Was it an Eternal that Captain Marvel was fighting? Was
I
that one of
think
the
it was an
Eternals?
Eternal when I was looking at it, because it was like
Which
Captain Marvel. I was like, it had to be somebody with
that's how
quite a bit of
forgettable they
powerful,
are.
and I'm pretty sure that
Like,
was an Eternal. I looked at that, and he's like, "Oh, that ain't a zombie." And I'm looking, I'm like, I think that's an Eternal, but which name it is, I can't tell you that.
see, that's the problem. I knew it was Captain Marvel, and I don't even like Captain Marvel, but I could not tell which Eternal that was. I just
Mm-mm.
knew, oh, it's probably an Eternal because I don't know who they are.
Yeah,
That
I
was
don't know.
literally my thought process. Either way, though, like, she got Kate Bishop got ass blasted. I don't think she's surviving that
No, no,
unless
no. At least she
the
didn't get turned
Eternal
into a
shielded her.
zombie, but yeah, no, she does.
I
She does stuff.
Yeah, I guess, but like, God. Either way, though, I don't know. Yeah, I'll commit. I'll watch the rest of it.
All right, so you'll hear our thoughts on the rest of the show with the last few episodes and what will be in roughly about a couple of weeks from now. So you can look forward to that. All righty. Well, I think that's gonna basically do it. I knew we got some stuff to talk about with Marvel, but I didn't think we were gonna wind up talking about it that much. But we hit some side tangents and stuff because we like to talk about Marvel when we can, and it's kind of few and far between in these days, though. But we like to do
Well,
what we
there's
like to do.
arguably not a lot going on right now, so
That's the main reason why. So we take advantage of what we can, what we can.
yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to do it in terms of everything pop culture segment related with the Marvel stuff added on to it. So we're going to go over and jump over to the next major part of the show, that being what we've been playing. All right, Steven. So it's been a couple of weeks, and there's been quite a bit of stuff that happened to drop out here as of late, though. And I have two major focuses of games that happen to come out, and we'll hit one of these, one by one, and then anything else we happen to play, we'll talk about it though. But first up the bat, Mario Galaxy plus Super Mario Galaxy 2, that bundle collection for the Nintendo Switch, managed to hit the shelves, and I didn't know at first whether or not I was going to pick up one or the other, if not both, because Super Mario Galaxy is included in the 3D All Stars collection, right? So I'm like, I'm cheap like that. I'm like, no, I'm not going to buy the same game twice like that, at least not for a quick turnaround like that. So I decided I was going to get the game digitally because I own, Mario Galaxy through the 3D All Star collection, and I had Mario Galaxy 2 originally on the Wii. So I was like, you know what? All right, I'm just going to get Galaxy 2. That way I can keep adding to, the 3D Mario games that I have currently available, all playable on the Switch. So I just bought that one separately on the eShop for $40. And just booting it up because obviously I'm not gonna probably go through and play through the whole game from start to finish all over again, but I'll just might pick it up from time to time. And just seeing all of that just in proper full HD, I was like, dang, when you get a good Wii game
It's
or even GameCube games, but to that extension, and just up res them with all the pretty graphics and stuff like that, and I can only imagine what it looks like in 4K. I hadn't put it on this 4K monitor yet. The game looks stellar, and it doesn't feel like it really kind of dropped a beat.
the game already looked beautiful in 1080 60 on Switch 1. So when you take a game that was already beautiful and you make it even more beautiful, and like, let's just, some people say the updated textures are worse, which maybe a couple of them are, but overall the updated textures in my opinion are better. Like, overall there are more detailed textures throughout the game, and obviously the crisp text, like, the text and all that being very clear, crystal crisp, nice looking, and the updated menu is pretty nice looking. Yeah, I think this is definitely the best way to play the Galaxy games. It's not like there's a terrible way to play them in general. The Wii version is still an amazing way to play Galaxy, but you know what I mean. Like, if you want to play it a different way without the pointer controls, like if you just want to use the gyro, might be and in handheld mode you could just use the touch screen, which is probably easier.
Yeah.
There you go. It's right there. Either way, though, like, I played a little bit of Galaxy 1 specifically. I didn't play Galaxy 2 yet. And honestly, I'm kind of more excited to go back to Galaxy 2 because that's the one I haven't played in a while, and I have a sealed copy of the Wii version that I really don't want to open.
Hmm.
I'm gonna try to keep that bitch sealed for like another 10 years.
I hear you on that one. I think the only thing that kind of almost had me concerned while looking at the Mario Galaxy 1+2 these games and stuff was like how were they going to incorporate the motion control and stuff, because I felt like that's what people were kind of wondering when they first had that 3D All-Star collection. They had the first Galaxy game and not the Galaxy 2. I mean, the way they kind of got it worked out is you just use the gyro as pointing for getting all those star bits and stuff. And honestly, you can do that with the split Joy Cons. You can also do that with the Pro controller. It's kind of nice just being able to play just with a normal controller and just regularly playing the game like that. But I don't know, some parts of me is just like, oh, I kind of want to get back into the way how originally you would play these games and just using like split Joy Cons to kind of make it feel reminiscent of you playing with a Wii remote and a nunchuck. I don't know. Eventually, at some point later down the future, will have Wii added to NSO, and then there'll be a Wii remote and nunchuck available. So the same thing like what happened with Sunshine when you are able to play it with a GameCube controller. These games will get updated where you can play them with a Wii remote and a nunchuck or whatever though. But regardless though, I thoroughly like it, and it kind of makes me think. I was like, dang, I always forget how many crazy ideas they had with Galaxy 1+2, and I do think it at the end of the day, even though a lot of us might have already have played it, I mean, it still kind of pales in comparison, because when you look at the sales of Mario Odyssey, Steven, I'm like, what? That game almost sold like 25-ish or so million in comparison to, I mean, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 have sold millions, but I don't think they managed to even hit close to like the high double digits of what even like Mario Odyssey has. So there's been whole generations of people that probably never messed around with these games.
But
And,
yeah,
and I know that's going to be a good play right before they had the Mario Galaxy movie and stuff like that. And, it's just a good, easy way for them to kind of make a buck or whatever, though. So I don't know. I mean, the game's amazing. Between the two of them, I'm always been a bigger fan of Galaxy 2 versus Galaxy 1. I'll say that much.
I heavily disagree, but
Oh,
to each their
whatever.
own.
Whatever.
I think
You just like the
Galaxy
hub
1
world. I don't know. I just like the world map.
I I think Galaxy 1 is the more focused package. It doesn't feel like there's any stupid bullshit padding with green stars, and it feels like a more complete story and experience. Galaxy 2 probably has the better levels and probably has a lot more wacky mechanics and stuff. And definitely does have more content. But like, I don't know. I personally have just always loved Galaxy 1 more. Galaxy 2 has the better music. Probably. Galaxy 2 has some amazing music.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, though, they're both good. And, I'm pretty sure it runs in handheld at 1080p 60, which is I haven't played in handheld yet, but that probably looks fucking beautiful. And I'm just glad that a lot of people have a way to play this. I don't like that it's $70, but god damn it, what am I gonna do? I've been saying this about every game recently that's been coming out. Prices are way too high everywhere. Nothing I say is gonna do anything.
I mean, you could have said or did something earlier though. But I ain't gonna bring that up in this show. We ain't got that kind of time though. But
What?
regardless though,
What are you talking about, huh?
no. We ain't getting down that rabbit hole though. But regardless though, if you hadn't played these games before, don't sleep out on these games because these are some great platforming games. And I'm always a bigger fan of Mario 3D Mario games to be the sandbox style like what we've seen in 64, Sunshine, and Odyssey. Those are usually my strong preferences though. But when it comes to linear ones, I don't usually like them as much. But Galaxy 2, and you got my boy Yoshi over here as like a blimp Yoshi, like a flamethrower one that runs real fast, one that's like a bulb Yoshi that's able to glow and stuff and run across the screen and stuff. I mean, I feel like a lot of his levels are perfectly designed though. And Alexis said it best. He said, "Nah, Galaxy 2 is leagues better than 1. Galaxy 1 simps only since for Rosalina." I mean, yeah, Rosalina definitely had a stronger presence in that in the first game than in the second one. Gosh, in the second one, I think she's only really present once you do like the grand finale run where you got to run the whole game, or not the whole game, the whole level perfectly. And then she's at the very tail end, which, mind you, I think I finally 100% in Galaxy 2. I think it was earlier this year, believe it or not, around Mario Day.
It was sometime recently.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, thank goodness. I finally saw Rosalina in the game I actually originally started off in. Okay. But anyway, though, games are really great, and I know they're going to do good for the holiday season and such, though. So, yeah, I don't think we got much more to say on that. Was there anything else you want to say, Steven?
Not really.
All right.
Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, definitely amazing games. Like, if you've never played them, then, get them. If you've never played Galaxy 1 and 2, I implore you to stop what you're doing and, you know, at least buy Galaxy 1, see if you like it, and then get Galaxy 2. I don't know. I would say buy the collection, but like that's $70. But I don't know, buying it for $40 separately for just Galaxy 1 might be even more egregious. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Listen, here's what you do. You buy 3D All-Stars, which has Galaxy in it, and it comes with Sunshine, an arguably better game. So you enjoy Sunshine, you get a free demo of Galaxy, and then decide if you want to buy Galaxy 2 for $40.
Yeah.
Either way, though, good games. I'm glad I'd rather Nintendo put this out than not put it out. Like, they definitely didn't have to spend too much time making this. I think the best thing about it is that these are native ports, I'm pretty sure. These are not emulated like 3D All-Stars was. This is a native version of Galaxy natively running on Switch. With hardly any compromises, which might not sound like a lot to you, but that's really good for like modding purposes and preservation.
Yeah.
And all that.
All right. Well, that's going to do it in terms of our Mario Galaxy 1+2 talk. So that's the first of what will be many different Nintendo games. Because by the time we have this next episode, Pokemon Legends ZA will be out on the market. So we'll be talking about that game here in the next couple of weeks, though. But anyway, so that's going to be it for that. But another game that did come out on the market that I got to talk about, oh, shoot, Ghosts of Yotei. Look, this is going to be one of my strongest candidates for what could possibly be game of the year for me personally. And it's actually going to probably show up in the Jeff Keighley Awards at the end of the year as well, just knowing, PlayStation's pedigree and stuff like that. But Ghost of Yotei, dog, this game does some things that honestly I wish that we see a little bit more in the industry in terms of the open world aspect, where I know they like to have you be the ruler of your own destiny. Do things in whatever order that you want, and let the story kind of shape around the benefits or the consequences of whatever you do. But I feel like what you're doing in Ghost of Yotei, I think it's perfectly balanced out in a way where I feel like no matter which way you kind of do some things, it kind of still ultimately feels like that's just the natural way how things should have played out. Because you might be, and when I first booted up this game, Steven, I was like, okay, you get through the introduction of the cutscene and stuff. You obviously you're on this mission. You're bent to kill the Yotei 6 because they basically wiped out your whole family when Atsu was very young. That's the name of the girl, as the main protagonist of the story. And okay, the first person you kill off is a snake. This is part of the the tutorial ish section, I would say, of the game. But then after you get through that, you're running through the field of flowers and stuff, and the title thing pops up in there. You're free to go wherever you want. There's really not many restrictions, at least not what you can easily see. I mean, there are some restrictions though, but you can't really tell at least at a first glance or whatever though. But it was really cool just being able to go out and then just naturally kind of make your way to what would be the first town. And with you trying to hunt down the Yotei 6, you really don't know too much information on it, right? Like, like any kind of person in her footsteps, right? But it's just going through and just being able to interact with NPCs, you kind of pick up on some things, like there's some outlaws or whatever though, so you kind of will naturally follow into doing some of these side quests. And at the end of the side quest, you being that dominating force in nature as you are, as like the ghost, that you start to kind of slowly build your reputation. You start asking these questions like, tell me about this information about the Yotei 6. It's even little side skirmishes where like you just roll up on some random enemies, you'll defeat them, and then they'll give you a little bit of information on the Yotei 6 that kind of leads you down this path of being able to put the dots together to where you accumulate just enough information where then it finally shows up on the map where you need to go in order to do a main mission. And I remember playing in the call with y'all on Discord, and gosh, I think I clocked in somewhere between 12 and 15 hours of just doing side crap stuff to upgrade your abilities and stuff, whether it be for the ghost or your natural combat, your range stuff or whatever though. 12 to 15 hours, Steven, before I was even able to complete my first main story mission. There's just that much crap that you can do up in this game. I remember there was a lot of crap you were able to do in Ghost of Tsushima though, but Ghost of Yotei just kind of amped up that amplifier by like 10. And some of these side quests, even though they're technically are side quests or they're bounty quests or whatever though, they feel like they're naturally part of the story itself. Just the way how they kind of deliver the voice lines and stuff. I mean, shoot, there was a whole thing where it's like, it wasn't like the mountain that you see like in the, I guess what you would say, like the box art or whatever though. But there was like some random old mountain or whatever though. It was like a legend that this one woman happened to talk about while I was just walking by the camp. I happened to hear it because they do a pretty good job with the 3D audio and stuff up in this game as well. Where I was like, I just randomly heard something out the right ear of my headphones. Like, wait, what is this woman talking about? I just walked over there. She started explaining about the whole lore, and she's like, why don't you pull down a seat or whatever though? And I sat down there. Apparently it led you to basically doing like a side quest where you kind of climbed up this mountain, and there was like this bear that was like bent on revenge or something like that. You could not kill that bear no matter what. So it was like a whole section where you had to do stealth to avoid the bear, because the bear would just like almost one shot you and kill you or whatever though. So you kind of have to sneak around with some of the areas. You'd be climbing these cliffs and stuff, and just when you think you let the bear down below, you look up, there's the bear right there, and it's like, oh shoot. It's just little things like that where I'm like, I just been enjoying every little aspect of this game. The environments and stuff has been beautiful. There's very different, diverse landscapes and stuff versus like the natural area that you're all right there. There's some snowy areas as you go up further north, or if you were to climb the mountain of Yotei, which I hadn't done yet in the game though. And the combat and stuff, like shoot, you can even have access to a freaking gun up in this game though. I hadn't managed to get that yet though. But yeah, between your swords, the dual katanas, I think those are my favorite go-to weapons. Between that or the single ones though.
Does it play similar to Ghost of Tsushima? I've never played it.
I mean, yeah, it plays very similar. Like it sets its foundations in Ghost of Tsushima, like the way how you block, the way how you parry and stuff like that. The core of all of that, or like, and I think with Tsushima, they kind of lean on, hey, are you going to do things the samurai way, or are you going to do things the ghost way? They kind of were trying to say whether or not you're going to push one way or the other. In this game, they don't necessarily lean into one or the other. You have free control of approach in any battle the way how you want, because you can roll up on a camp of enemies, or you can just say, you know what, I'm just gonna have a standoff, hack and slash the first person and send in all the waves after that. Or you could do a little bit of 100% stealth, try to kill everybody secretly without necessarily giving away your position, or you kind of do like what I'm accustomed to. I at least thin out the herd by like half or 75%. Before then, I might just rush in and just try to stealth kill a whole bunch of people. And if I get caught, whatever, I'll just go ahead and kill off the rest.
It kind of sounds like Breath of the Wild. The way you described everything in the same way I would describe Breath of the Wild to somebody.
Yeah, it's basically
Is
like
that
Breath of
an
the
apt
Wild, but the
comparison?
story I think is better told in this series versus Breath of the
Well,
Wild, because I
I'd
don't think
I'd
Breath of the
hope
Wild did a
so.
really good job at it whatsoever. But this one, I don't feel like I'm missing anything, and it feels like I'm building my own
Well,
story, and it all feels natural. It doesn't feel out of place.
I was gonna say I'd hope so. It's a fucking Sony game. It's the one thing they do right is having a movie.
Yeah,
Like they're
it definitely is one of the things that they obviously do right.
well, people can argue whether or not they do it right, but they make pretty nice looking movies. Nice 15 to 20-hour movies.
But yeah,
Either way though, whatever they're called, the Sinister Six. Have you beaten any of them yet? Are you close to
you mean
beating
the
the game?
Yotei Six? You said
Whatever
Sinister
they're
Six.
called.
You copied that out of Marvel. Oh shoot. Yeah, no, the Yotei Six. So the Snake was the tutorial dude. So obviously anybody that plays at least 5 hours is gonna kill him. So really you're only looking for 5 more people after that. I did
Okay.
manage to find one of them and defeat him. So that was one. I had an encounter with the second person, but that second person, I'm not trying to spoil the game or whatever though, but he's a big major pivotal point. So you interacted with the dude. It looked like you were about to catch him, but he got away. That's all I'm gonna
Is
say. So I'm
is
not
is
really
one
giving
of
away.
is one of them like the most evil? Is one of them like the leader and
Basically,
he's
he seems like he's the head honcho, the one that's kind of calling all the shots. I can't really say too much more beyond that before I start giving away certain spoilers, though. So if you
okay?
know
I
or
got
you
you.
played enough about the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I had one mission that kind of portrayed around him, but now there's like a pair of younger sons of that dude. And I'm trying to hunt one of them next. So that's kind of where I'm at in the game right now. I think I clocked about 25-ish or so hours in the game. And that's currently where I'm at right now. And honestly, even though we have Pokemon Legends ZA coming out, gosh, this week, believe it or not, I'm not gonna be able to beat this game before that game comes out. So I'm gonna start juggling a couple of games here fairly soon, though. But I've been thoroughly enjoying my time with Ghosts of Yotei, and every time I get off of work or whatever, though, I always put at least an hour or two in here and there. Pretty much as much time as humanly possible, usually over the weekend though. But nah, man, this game is perfect. It's the game I've been kind of waiting for on my PlayStation 5 to play, because at least for me personally, first party wise, the only ones that really ever caught my attention is anything Team Asobi made, Sucker Punch with the Ghost games, and Insomniac games, with your Spider-Mans and Ratchet and Clanks and all of that. So yeah, I knew this was next on the bucket list, and thankfully, I think Insomniac's coming up with Wolverine next year. So at least I got some things to look forward to play with my PS5. It's not a whole bunch though, but it's mostly been third parties and the occasional good first party game though. But
Wolverine looks good so far.
yeah, no,
Like,
that looks good. It looks promising. I know that one's gonna be good as well.
either
But
way though, is that all you were gonna say about Ghost of Yotei?
yeah, that's pretty much it for the time being. I'll keep y'all
Alright.
updated in the next episode, because I know I'll get another good chunk of stuff done up in here though. But man, it's addicting to get you get caught up in these side quests and stuff though. And I've been looking around online, and I think a lot of other people are in the same boat as me, where it's like you find that one little bird that takes you off the side path where it leads you to potentially either upgrading basically your spirit, which your spirit vessels are ways to get back health or do special attacks, or you find areas where you get the hot tubs, and or I say hot tubs, not necessarily a hot tub, but a hot spring. That's what I was looking for. That could basically max out your health and stuff, or you get access to these shrines, so be able to unlock more abilities. There's always something to do, interact with, fight, explore, experience in this game, and it just feels like a good old adventure at the end of the day. And that's one of the things I really love about these Ghost games in particular, though. It's kind of crazy how there's supposed to be a whole entire multiplayer for this, but that's not going to come until next year, because for some reason they couldn't get it out at the point of this release I don't know. It's gonna be very similar and reminiscent of the multiplayer game that's for Ghost of Tsushima, which I never really got around to playing with that, to be honest, either though. But regardless though, I really like this game. I'll say more about it in the future though. But if you have a PS5 and you hadn't played this, I don't know why you wouldn't, because this is gonna be game of the year potential right here. Was there anything you wanted to say on anything I said right there, Steven, or was that about it?
That is all. I'm glad you're having fun with Ghosts of Yotei. I will probably not get this game for a while. It will go on sale for like 20 eventually. Like I'll be fine.
You have time because you can play through Tsushima the director's cut. You can go through and play through
Yeah,
that. Leave a little breathing room in between before then you jump straight over to this one though. So
yeah.
you
Like
got time.
I've had Ghost of Tsushima director's cut for about 3 years now. I'll eventually get to it.
Gosh, I'm gonna have to watch you stream it or something. Anyway though,
Yeah. Either way though, since we're on the topic of October releases, I just wanted to bring up real quick that Pokemon Legends ZA has fully leaked online. So if you're watching this or if you're Zard, avoid spoilers, okay?
dog, I've been kind of dodging some stuff here and there though because I know that one Twitter account, the Central Leaks, whatever, they've been on their mess.
Yeah,
And
no, they've
once I
been
saw
going.
that, I was like, all right, nope, it's time to get off the internet. It's time
I
to
don't
not
know
do
if
this
you
no more.
saw. I don't know if you saw anything yet, but I've seen a decent amount, obviously.
Yeah.
Either way though, like because it's like I look at a couple things once, just a little bit, but it's not really a big deal. Either way though, for anyone watching this, be careful. Don't search anything Pokemon on social media for like the next 3 days. It will be out very soon. This is definitely the latest that a Pokemon game has ever leaked early. Only like 4 days. That's a new record. It's usually like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're batting down the hatches a little bit. Maybe that's more so with the Switch 2 versions out there, but I know there is still a Switch version rolling around
Well,
there somewhere.
well,
But yeah,
I think that's how they're doing it. They sent out. Well, either way though, they sent out a bunch of Switch 2 copies. I'm pretty sure they sent out a lot more Switch 2 copies compared to Switch 1 copies because the Switch 2 copy can still be used on Switch 1.
yeah,
It might require an update though. That copy might require you to like update in order to play it. And obviously, if it detects you playing it early, it probably will just like fucking ban you or something to try not to let you to play it. Either way, though, people are getting into it. People data mined it. It's everywhere. Just avoid it. And good luck. We'll definitely be talking about our first thoughts on that game next podcast.
yep, pretty much. All right. Well, outside of that, that's mostly what I've been personally playing. Because ever since Ghost of Yotei came out, I mean, that's where most of my time has went. And then a little
Well,
bit of Galaxy before that, before Ghost of Yotei came out. So that's all I've been really playing. But what about you, Steven?
So I haven't played it yet, but I'm probably gonna play it tomorrow. I gotta play the demo for Bubsy 4D.
Heck,
Okay.
hold the phone. I did not have that on the script for tonight. Heck
Okay. Well,
no, you
I
coming
had
up in
it
my
on
show
my
talking about
script.
no crusty Bubsy. Heck no.
Listen, they added Bubsy to SNES Online, and no, it's not a good game, but my God, it's it's so fucking funny that they added it to SNES Online, and now Bubsy 4D has a free demo
Man,
on
they taking the
Steam,
value of
and I
NSO
want
and
to
then
try
throwing it
it.
down in the trash, talking about putting a game like that on the service, man. That look hideous putting that mess next to Mario, man.
Either way, though, it's peak. I'm gonna play it, and then in terms of
You
other
just said
games
it
I've been
wasn't a good
playing,
game. How the heck you gonna say that's peak?
well, I said so. Either way, though, the only other thing I was gonna mention is that I've been kind of going on and off, but I've been trying to play Pac-Man World 2 Repack in between everything else I've been doing, and I like it. It's a nice laid-back platformer. I like Pac-Man World 2. It's $30, so if you ever get a chance, Zard, it's right there. It's easy.
I hadn't even played the first game in the series, so I feel like I wouldn't jump into that per se before mess around with whatever the first one was, if I ever would or could or even have the time to do it. Basically,
I guess that's fair.
yeah. All right.
That's all
Well,
I've been playing.
all right.
Oh wait, no. Well, 1 second. Sorry. Sonic Racing Crossworlds came out.
Did we? No,
Okay. I
well, I
don't.
guess we talked
I
about
don't.
it in previews in the past episodes, but I guess it's
Maybe.
the first time that we had an episode, and I guess it's been officially out. Has it?
I'll quickly mention it. Sonic Racing Crossworlds is definitely my favorite racing game so far that is released this year. Okay? That's all I'm gonna say. It is definitely a very good racing game. I've been having fun doing the time trials, just having fun doing races online, having fun customizing my car. They've been doing these like Splatfest like festivals for new character releases.
Hold up,
They've
Steve.
been
Hold
doing
up. All right, hold up. Just pause real
what?
quick. I'll let you talk
What?
here in a minute, though. That game came out September 25th. So the last episode we had was September 28th. So unless you didn't bring it up.
I don't think we did.
Okay.
I'm pretty
we'll
sure we did, because that's the day I was coming back, because I was like driving home.
No, you were running late, so I guess you never brought it up.
I don't think we talked about it.
Okay.
Either way, though, it is a fun game. I have about 70 hours in it right now. Okay, and that's like in the last 2 weeks. So I've been playing this game a decent amount. It is really, really fun. Okay, like I personally think it's a great arcadey game, and I'm having a lot of fun. That's really all I was gonna say right now. For some reason, the words are escaping me, but all I can say is enjoy it, and I hope you eventually get it when it's on a good sale, because it will go on a good sale.
It need to be on an extremely good sale for me to get it, though. But no, I hear you, because you and Kyle, y'all been having a good time with it.
Yeah, and it has crossplay, so even if you got it on fucking whatever, we can play it.
Yeah, not too bad. All right. Well, that's going to do it in terms of that one segment of what we've been playing. So now we're going to jump over to the very last major segment of the show, that being what's in the gaming news. All righty, Steven. Well, sometimes this episode, it always be the show, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's been relatively positive for most of the show tonight, though. But, oh, shoot. Every single gosh dang time we talk about or bring Xbox in the show, it's never good. And the one time they did happen to have something good with Perfect Dark and stuff, like what would have been an E3, but it was like Summer Game Fest at the time. Barely could go a few months later down the road before they happened to cancel the Joker, though. We talk about Hi-Fi Rush, then they say we're going to shut down the studio. This company can't ever catch a break. Because gosh dang, Steven, we talked about them in the last show, about them pulling some random old bull crap. And now they managed to do not one, not two, not even three, but like 4 bad things I got over here in my show notes over here. So we got to break this sucker down one by one. It's not just one thing we got to talk about at Xbox. It's a whole bunch. It's a whole string of domino effects with them, though. Like, gosh dang, I had to pull up the whole Discord notes for them because, man, I had to start almost writing like a little mini old book over here. Anyway, though.
Yeah, I think Xbox realized that Nintendo was under a lot of fire, and they were like, "No, Nintendo, I gotta shield you from all this criticism here," and threw out like the 4 horsemen of the Xbox apocalypse. Okay.
That's what it honestly feels like, to be honest, though. But like, oh shoot! All right,
I have a ton. I'm very interested. This is what I've been excited to talk about all fucking day.
All right, so Microsoft apparently made some change. This is where it all stemmed from. This is where it all started from. So let's keep notes. Anyway, it all started from when Microsoft decided to make some changes to Game Pass. And ever since then, that's when things started to spiral, though. As it stood right now, I believe Game Pass Ultimate costs roughly about $20 per month for anybody to be able to hold down their subscription, though. And I think they took a page out of Sony's book where it was like, we kind of need to make a little bit more money. So we're going to split this up into 3 tiers, but not even to split it up into 3 tiers. The most expensive tier is going to raise from like $20 a month to $30 for Game Pass Ultimate. We're going to put in some extra bells and whistles for each one of the respective tiers to kind of justify some of the price increases for all of this stuff. Yeah, I know. That's why I'll air quotes justify. To be able to, make these firm distinctions between all these different tiers, so that way people can choose whether or not they want to stay in the low tier, the mid tier, or be the cream of the crop and be on the high tier or whatever, though. But oh shoot, ever since they did that, all I saw was just a bunch of people trying to cancel their Xbox Game Pass subscriptions and stuff like that. Though,
The
uh,
site crashed.
yeah, apparently the site crashed or whatever. Though, and and we'll break it down here just to build a little context over here though. So I got over here on the little side over here. So apparently there's the essential tier. It has like 50 plus games that are playable on PC, console, and cloud. That's for $10 a month. You can go premium, which has about 200-ish plus games on PC, console, and cloud. That's about $15 per month. But the ultimate one, that's where you hit the $30 per month on PC, console, and cloud for 400 plus games. And I'm just looking at the bells and whistles that's supposed to come with the ultimate tier. It says like what 75 plus day one games a year, including all Xbox published games day one. But if you look at that in premium tier, Steven, premium tier has new Xbox published games within a year of launch. So if you want it on day one, you got to have ultimate. You can't necessarily have premium. Premium is like you'll get it eventually, just not necessarily on day one.
The
Apparently,
only thing Xbox had going for it, and now it's worse.
yeah. And then you also get like what with the ultimate tier, you get Ubisoft Plus, Classics, and EA. I don't know who the heck is asking for Ubisoft Plus and EA stuff up in there though. With the Fortnite crew coming
No,
in
at
November.
least no, at least Ubisoft and EA Play give you fucking games. Fortnite Crew is a subscription service for one specific game. That yes, Fortnite Crew is a good value, but only if you consistently fucking play Fortnite, okay? It is only a good value if you consistently play Fortnite. If you do not consistently play Fortnite, it fucking means nothing. It's nothing at all. It's stupid. I would rather them add anything else, honestly.
No, yeah, I can see
And
that.
and either way, like Ubisoft, was it like Ubisoft selects like their classic games, right? You can get Ubisoft's classic games for fucking cheap anywhere.
Yeah.
It's nothing. Like they're just pouring salt into a wound. Like they cut open a wound and then put salt into it.
I don't know.
Either way, though, like I just don't understand locking the day one games behind the new tier. Like I understand that the new tier has more games. I'm pretty sure, like it's got like a bunch more games on it compared to the other Game
I
Pass
mean,
tier.
yeah, because the Ultimate has 400 plus, comparison to Step Down with Premium has like 200 plus.
But I just don't remember how much the old Ultimate had. Either way, though,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Either way, though, I just think it's just a stupid decision to make it more complicated.
Yeah, it's more complicated. Apparently, they also said unlimited cloud gaming at our best quality with the shortest wait times. Okay. In-game benefits including for Riot Games, online console multiplayer, and play and earn $100 a year with in-store with rewards. That's apparently everything that you're given with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah, it's great for the two Xbox fans that are still fucking breathing.
Yeah, so that's basically everything you're kind of getting within that though, and basically, and let's pull out PlayStation here because that's basically I would say their main competitor because they're doing some similar things, not necessarily the exact same thing, but similar. Because basically, Essential Premium and Essential Premium and Ultimate is the Xbox versions of what will be PlayStation for Essential, Extra, and Premium. So if you were to break it down month by month, the essential ones for both, $10 a month, both of them are very similar. Premium for both of them, $15 a month, both of them are very similar though. But if you look at Ultimate for Xbox and you compare it to Premium with PlayStation Plus, Premium with PlayStation Plus is only like $18 a month in comparison to Ultimate, which is like $30 a month. That's a major jump in quality. And I'm a PlayStation Premium person, but don't tell PlayStation over here because for some reason they've been charging me at the cost for yearly. The essential one, which is the cheapest tier, they've been charging me that tier, but give me all the premium perks for like the past few years. Maybe it's because
You're
I've
gonna
just been.
get bad luck.
Maybe it's because no. I mean, I got it all the way till April this year, April of next year, Steven, And it says when it renews, it's going to still do it at the old essential pricing for a whole nother year after that. This is going to be like year number 4 for me.
Well,
And
are
they're
are you
paying me
gonna
for
tell?
loyalty. They got me in their loyalty thing, I guess, when I bought that one random old PlayStation. Oh gosh, it wasn't the Plus. It was the old PlayStation Now. I guess when I
I
bought
got
that
you.
thing, they let me stay loyal until then, but they're not paying any loyalty for Xbox owners or whatever. They say, hey, you better cough up that
Xbox doesn't
money
have fucking loyalty. There's no one that's loyal to Xbox.
because
That's like being
they don't toss their people no bone like how
you know
PlayStation does.
there
I'm just
there
saying.
is no bone. There is no
I
bone.
said they don't
There is
toss them
no
a bone
people.
because there
Well,
ain't
yeah,
no bone.
that's what
But
I'm saying.
yes,
There ain't no bone. There's not even a fucking person to toss the bone to. There's no Xbox fans still around. Okay? There's no bone. There's no person. And there's no company to even throw the bone. They've fucking abandoned us.
yeah. So I don't know.
Sorry,
I
I've always
know.
been mad at Xbox. I've always been I don't even care about console wars. PlayStation's stupid sometimes too, but Xbox really is going out of their way to destroy themselves in the most spectacular, depressing way possible. Honestly,
Yeah, so they got everybody up in the tizzy where it's like, okay, a lot of people were just saying, you know what, enough's enough. We're just gonna go ahead and cancel our Xbox Game Pass subscriptions, rightfully so, because they don't feel like the money's worth it or they can't afford to. Yada yada yada. Perfectly understandable though. But that started a whole entire daisy chain line of effects right here, because then that kind of leads us into the second topic with Xbox, because apparently then rumors started to run around that apparently Xbox could be potentially going third party, which, mind y'all, if y'all been longtime viewers or listeners of the show, I've been saying this till I've been blue in the face for like the past, what, Steven, for like the past 2 years at this point now, because I always kept saying the rate Xbox is going, if not next generation, the generation after that for sure, they're gonna pull a Sega and they're gonna pull out this console
no,
place though,
it's
because
definitely it's definitely this generation. The Xbox Series X is $650 fucking. Okay.
yeah, and that's that insult to injury, because that's what we talked about in the last episode. Yeah, them raising the prices again for that silly old console. But anyway, though, that insult to injury, this was all stemming off of the fact that it's kind of like a he said she said. I mean, it's in the rumor mill. You always got to take that mess with a grain of salt though. But where some of the proof started to exist within that pudding was the fact that you started seeing like Costco and some Sam's clubs start to like heavily discount and like throw on some clearance racks some of the Xbox Series X consoles and some of the Xbox Series S consoles. Like the S consoles, you were able to see at some Costco's or Sam's for like 200 something bucks. The Series X with the disc drive was able to be seen in some places at 300. I know it was a little bit situational because even when I pulled up my store and looked on the app or whatever though, like I still saw it for like the regularly like high end prices of what they're normally priced at. I know it's situational depending on where you're at though. But then that kind of leads into where we're currently at right now, because apparently Target and Walmart are starting to remove Xbox consoles and games off of their own shelves. And I was like, oh gosh. I was like, wait a gosh dang minute. Because it's one thing just to do it with a Costco or Sam's. They're not necessarily your bread and butters when you think of major retailers. Like when you think of major retailers, you think of Amazon.
Target,
You think of
Walmart,
Target,
Amazon.
Walmart, Best Buy. Like those are the big brands. And when you start doing that mess with Walmart and Target, that's when it starts to really speak some volumes and stuff. I was literally in my Best Buy the other day. I was just having this kind of randomly browse. I was trying to kill some time before going into work or whatever though. And I was looking at the gaming sections and stuff, and you got like there's like 3 different aisles that was dedicated towards Nintendo, 2 for PlayStation, and like almost 1.5ish for Xbox. And I was able to see consoles for Nintendo and PlayStation side of things though, but Xbox like barely had much of anything. I mean, they didn't really have like much of any games sitting out on their shelves or whatever. It's been mostly like just like like those digital cards or whatever. Like you can redeem them for like in-game currencies or whatever though. That's like mostly what all Xbox had over going for it, and mostly accessories or like Xbox controllers and stuff. But they don't really have a strong retail presence, even in my local area when I was
So
just happening to look around.
Zord, I actually went into Target today. Okay, and so the PlayStation aisle was maybe one and a half aisles. They had a whole aisle dedicated to PlayStation, and then they also had a whole aisle dedicated, or like a half aisle dedicated to the VR, and just it was like a little display case showing
The
a
PlayStation VR or like a
PS5,
MetaQuest VR?
PlayStation VR,
Oh,
but it
okay.
was a little display case showing a PS5, showing a PS Portal, and showing a PSVR. Just one of those display cases showing how they actually look. There was a console inside of a display case, just showing it
Uh-huh.
and like showing the prices and all that. You know, like a decent presentation. The Nintendo aisle, they had a playable demo for Nintendo Switch 2 in pristine condition, mind you. All the controllers weren't greasy or anything. Like just a nice Switch 2 demo station with tons of Switch 2s in stock, tons of games, some download codes. They had a ton of amiibo still, which you know why those prices. Either way, though, they had tons of amiibo, Lego Game Boys stocked next to the electronics aisle. Everything looked pretty nice. Xbox was maybe half an aisle of just controllers. I seen a Lego Xbox 360, like some kind of weird Lego set ripoff, like a
Mm-hmm.
buildable Xbox 360, but I didn't see an actual fucking Xbox, okay? And then yeah, I seen like maybe a half aisle of games, and then everything else was all download codes by the checkout, by the little cash register by electronics. Okay? Was all download codes and nonsense. And yes, they did have half an aisle dedicated to like Xbox controllers. Guess what, Zard? When I was there looking, there was an employee taking out Xbox controllers and putting them in a little cart.
they're taking out the trash right there in front of you. Oh shoot.
I asked them like, "Hey, what are they doing? I heard these reports that like Xbox was,
Oh, you told them
this and
everything
that."
about the
Oh,
reports,
I
huh?
asked them. I just asked them like, "Hey, are you guys taking down your Xbox display yet?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know anything yet. I was just told to move all of this to a different part of the store." They're definitely fucking taking it down.
Hmm. Might need to send you back over there to get the update, see if that whole section is gone. And that whole section is gone. That's a little more proof in the pudding right there.
Well, I'm definitely going back there. I've been going there the last few days to look for these FNAF action figures. I haven't found them yet.
Hmm. But yeah, I don't know. It's just something about when you got to shrink the retail space down. It would have been understandable if they did this mess, and it's like I don't know, right before like within the last 3 months of what could have been an old console phasing out and a new console coming in, makes perfect sense. But when you're doing this mess, what would honestly would have been a whole year out in advance before the supposed new console was supposed to come out, and then now there's like rumors going around where it's like they don't even know whether or not that's even gonna be a thing, or if it's up in limbo, or they're going back to the drawing board. Who knows at this given point of the game though? But rest assured, I don't think everybody's on the same page. And it was kind of weird because I was looking around at certain different reports and stuff. Windows Central, I think that's what they're called. I don't know. They're a weird group of people. They actually like get too close and buddy with some of the high end executives and stuff. Like they eat out with some of the people, whatever though. But anyway, they basically were kind of reporting on some of these rumors about how you know they don't know necessarily if anything is going to come to fruition with like some of the stuff that Sarah Bond said about how their next console is supposed to be the most powerful thing that could be, standing on loose ends and
Yeah,
stuff.
I
Maybe some
bet.
things don't come up. And Xbox or somebody at Microsoft had to respond and say, no, that's not the case. We're actually are still going to come out with something, quote unquote, is what they said. I feel like anytime a company has to come out and reach out and say something and say yay,
That's
nay about
bad.
anything like that, that's pretty bad. Because we could have said anything about this with PlayStation. We could have said anything about this with Nintendo.
They
They
would have never
usually they
responded.
would have never responded. They would have acted like that's non-existent, and then it would have
Yeah.
been water underneath the bridge. But
If they did
Xbox has to come
respond,
around and say that because I feel like you're saying some
no.
unspoken truths or some worries or concerns whenever you have to actually take the time out to actually respond to something, which
Well,
honestly
I
was
feel
just a
like
bunch of rumors. There was no factual proof about anything really, and they felt the need to have to say something.
I feel like Nintendo would have made some stupid generic statement like, "Please stay tuned for any future announcements that we may have about
But that would have
Nintendo
been
hardware." Like
that
that's
would have
it.
been
Would have
the
been
usual
that would have been it.
response,
Yeah,
which any company would normally say, and then we'll just
that's what
kind of
I'm saying.
understand that
Yeah,
as okay, that's just a blanket statement, just
like yeah, they
ignore
have
it.
more coming.
But
Like
they went into
Nintendo.
detail
Say
about that.
say what you want about Nintendo, but they have stuff coming, and we know they have stuff coming. These the Switch generation proved that they have a ton of studios all working on stuff right now as we speak that they just like to stagger around. Like, we don't know what the Paper Mario team is doing. We don't know what Next Level Games is doing. We don't know what the Zelda team is doing. Like, we don't even know what the 3D Mario team is doing. And, the studio that ports stuff, it has to be porting different games as we speak. People that ported Donkey Kong Country Returns are definitely ready porting another game. Like, and that's just a couple examples. Nintendo's got a bunch of shit up their sleeve ready to pull out. PlayStation has IPs, whether you'd like to believe it or not. That's the whole problem with PlayStation is that they have so much untapped fucking gold that they just don't realize or they just ignore. You know what I mean? Astrobot proved that people do want to see these old PlayStation IPs again. They had a whole levels dedicated to like PlayStation and Loco Roco and shit in that game. And people loved those levels. They were cool. And people wanted a nice, charming, cartoony game from PlayStation again. I think they're finally realizing that. And then either way, still they're gonna do another God of War. They're probably gonna do we know there's more Spider-Man games coming from Insomniac, and then whatever else they're cooking up. Like PlayStation does have games. They just also come to PC now.
Yeah.
The issue with the issue with Xbox is that they've always been putting their games on PC and on Steam, which isn't necessarily an issue as long as the actual Xbox is still a good deal. Like the Xbox doesn't have exclusives. In my opinion, it needs to make up for that with either being a good deal or providing a good service, which it does not do either anymore. It's a
yeah.
fucking terrible deal compared to getting a PS5, which has everything and more.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know. The only thing about it is that controllers are cheaper, I guess. Xbox controllers are relatively on the cheaper end. So that's it, though.
Yeah, because I mean, if we were to look at everything Xbox that has transpired in this whole year, at the start of this year, the Xbox Series X was 500 and the Series S was 300. Since then, the Xbox Series X has not gotten one price increase, but two, going from 600 to 650, and the Series S something similar, but now it's priced at like roughly around 400 something. It's around that point. Anyway, or 380 or kind of knocking on the doorstep of 400. But anyway, it got two price increases. Xbox Game Pass has managed to go up to like $30 for a whole entire year. On top of all of that, you had games such as like Perfect Dark and stuff from like Rare Studios and stuff like that. Games like that managed to shut down their studios and get canceled. On top of that, you had a whole bunch of layoffs. Then on top of that, you got rumors about or not even rumors. Rewind it back a little bit. Your handheld dedicated console, not purely dedicated, but the collaboration with Asus and stuff. You go up to having like a $600 handheld, and the high end one be a $1,000. You're like, what the heck? And then on
Yeah,
top of that, then
they
you have
can't
all of the
they
rumor
can't
stuff.
dominate.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you have all the rumor stuff about them potentially going third party, about the next console going up in the middle of the air and stuff. You have all of these different retailers, including two big ones with Walmart and Target, starting to pull stuff from the shelves when they're not normally supposed to do that. Hear about Sam's Club and the Costco here and there, though, having to do some stuff on heavy discounts and stuff. Nothing has honestly been good or positive with Xbox, period, for this whole entire year. I can't say what's the next good game that's able to come out on the market right now for Xbox that people are going to be genuinely excited about. I mean, shoot,
Well,
even the Call of Duty games that are
well,
now
I was gonna
technically underneath
say,
their umbrella and stuff like that, that's a game series that most people are pretty acquainted with and stuff like that. But if you want to have access to that, now you got to have a Game Pass Ultimate, that high end tier, just to play that. And it's like, bruh.
I was gonna say Forza Horizon 6 was announced. People like those games. Those games are neat, in my opinion. I played 5 at least for like a couple hours.
But yeah, it's just the same old usual stuff. Nothing that's like super creative or
Yeah,
something super
I
unique
know.
that's gonna bring anything to the table. I'd say maybe the closest thing with that has probably been the Indiana Jones games, but they're putting that mess everywhere. Like it's on the PS5,
I
it's coming to
yeah.
Switch 2 at some point. That might be where I finally play the game at though. But I don't know.
I liked Doom the Dark Ages, but
And
like
that
I
was
didn't
cool.
love
I still need to
it.
finish it, but that was cool.
Yeah, it was good, but just not great. You know what I mean? It was just a good game.
Yeah.
Either way, though, they just gotta figure it out. Like, where the fuck is their breadwinner? Where's Halo? Like Halo Infinite
Halo
came
might be
out.
dead for all we know. That thing might show up
I
on the Switch for
don't know.
at some
It,
point.
I would love that. I would
I mean,
love to
because
play those
they
games.
already put Forza on some of the on the competition and stuff like that. And then Gears is coming over to
I
PlayStation as
want
well
fucking
too.
Hi-Fi Rush. I want Hi-Fi Rush on Switch 2, goddammit. Give it to me. Please.
But yeah, we can be a whole bunch of like old men yelling at the clouds and stuff like that though. But I feel like at this point the writing's on the
I'm
wall.
tired.
Ideally,
Yeah.
that next console was supposed to come out in 2026, but if we get to basically around this point next year, not even quite to this point, like probably around spring of next year, and we don't hear anything about that console or whatever, though, I think the writing's going to be there on the wall for all to see. And I like how most people, you mentioned about them going full third party and just only worry about publishing and putting their games out where I mean, they've been running this, everything's an Xbox campaign for the longest time now. I mean, they're gonna probably live and die on that sword though. But whenever that does happen, I feel like the general consensus online has been most people be like, yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's okay. I kind of see them leaving the console market space or whatever. Though the only bad thing about that is if you only have PlayStation, you only have Nintendo. That's less competition. PlayStation could technically, in theory, be a little bit more greedy, be a little bit more pushy, because now they're the pure and only defaulto system for what would be like maybe the higher end, a little bit more graphics. Nintendo's cutting the gap just by a little bit though, but there's still a little bit of a tiny distance between them and that. I mean, for a lot of people that will normally only get one of these two consoles, everybody's going to shift over to PlayStation, and they can get a little greedy with their little numbers though. So I mean, I don't know. The future's looking a little dim and dark. You might not like Xbox though, but it's still kind of important to kind of have them around. I'm just saying. But that's neither here nor there. But that's where we're gonna leave this case at. So if we talk about Xbox again in the next episode, that means they went out of business or something catastrophic happened. Because I don't think it can get much worse than this red Xbox Ring of Death logo that I got here on this TV screen right now. To be honest, though.
Phil Spencer announces every Xbox will detonate within the hour.
Either that or him, Sarah Bond, or Matt Booty gets fired or something, and that'll cause us to come up here in this show again. I don't know.
That might honestly be a fucking good idea. Phil Spencer's been around for a while, but like, what has he actually done? And is what he's done actually working? Because ever since the Xbox One, I don't think they've known what they're doing. I think Game Pass really saved the Xbox One, and then guess what fucking happened? They got greedy.
They got too big for their own good. I don't think it's really self-sustaining at the end of the day. Say what they
It's
will
never
about the
been. No,
revenue, quote unquote revenue.
it,
That's not
yeah,
necessarily the profit margins. They kind of
devs,
weird with their numbers.
developers have literally said like Xbox can't be making money from this. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I think that's where we're gonna leave it with the whole Xbox fiasco stuff because I think we made most of our piece for the time being. Until a handful of weeks from now, then we got to talk about them again because they did something else dumb, stupid, or raise the price here and there though, or cancel something. I don't know. It's a word bucket list or whatever they could possibly do, but somehow they'll wind up fumbling the ball once again. All right, but anyway, that's it for the whole Microsoft Xbox fiasco. There's two other things we wanted to talk about before we're gonna wrap things up for tonight. Because apparently, Mina the Hollower, a game I've really been looking forward to playing on Halloween night, has unfortunately been delayed by Yacht Club Games. Kind of makes me sad though. I was really looking forward to getting this game, Steven, but Then again,
Today is a sad day.
it might be a blessing in disguise because that was going to be the 5th game I was going to buy this month. Like I already bought Ghosts of Yotei. Next up would have been Legend ZA. Then it would have been Ninja Gaiden 4, Mina the Hollower, and then Dragon Quest 1+2. That was going to be a lot of games. So at least them delaying this. The only unfortunate thing is they're saying they're testing it for more like, bug fixes, or not bug fixes, just trying to catch any bugs or just try to put extra polish up on the thing. No, that's what they basically said though. So who knows if it's going to be able to come out before the end of the year or if it's going to roll into like the beginning of next year though. But it's still very close to completion at this point though. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. It's one of the few indie games I actually have an eye up on, and I think it's going to be good when it does come out though. But it's just unfortunate I ain't going to be able to play it on Halloween night. It would have been a nice, good, spooky game to play, but whatever. Let them
You can
cook.
play the demo again.
I mean, I could play the demo again, yes, but I mean, like, I wanted to play the whole game though.
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, that was just a little quick update because I'm actually looking forward to that game. Was there anything you wanted to say, Steven, on that?
Very, very good looking mice in that game.
Did you say very good looking mice up in that game?
She's a fine looking mouse. What do you want me to say?
Oh gosh, Steve, we ain't going down this road. Anyway, we're changing the subject. All right. So the very last topic I had for tonight was that weird old Nintendo short. Notice how there wasn't like a lot of Nintendo news outside of Mario Galaxy 1+2 coming out though. Now I'll change next week, but there was a close to you Nintendo short that happened to air out on their social media platforms, and at first it was like of this little baby and the mama, and nothing else was kind of going around, nothing that you could easily see at first outside of just some randomly moving floating objects. And it was kind of weird. At first I was like, what the heck is this? But then I heard the little chime of a certain kind of music that sounded familiar to my ear, and I was like, I think this is Pikmin related. They're not showing it.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking it's
I
Pikmin
heard
related.
it immediately.
Was that what you were thinking too before it got officially confirmed?
Well, here's what happened. I woke up and I seen the video and I was like, what the fuck is this? Okay. And then I watched it and then I heard the dun, 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 and I'm like, yeah, it's Pikmin. Okay. It's Pikmin, but like, what is it? Why is it Pikmin? You know what I mean? I think that was the main question is, yeah, this is Pikmin. What is this though?
I thought it was like some invisible Pikmin or something like that. They were gonna like introduce a new type or something.
That's pretty sure that's what it was. Is that like the kid could see the Pikmin, but we couldn't. Or like, I don't know if you remember this. In Pikmin Bloom, if you ever played Pikmin Bloom, it says that Pikmin are invisible to the human eye, but can be seen through your phone. And I don't know if you know this, but the version that has the Pikmin in it was only uploaded to Nintendo today.
Oh, okay. That's
I think
a nice little tease.
I think it was just supposed to be clever. It was supposed to give Nintendo today a little bit more incentive. You know what I mean? They're trying to get people. They're trying to get people to look at Nintendo today. That's why they've been announcing directs on Nintendo today first.
Yeah, they'll announce it there for like the first hour or two before then they throw it on the social medias. But yeah,
that's the whole point of Nintendo today. Nintendo wants people to wake up and immediately check Nintendo today.
Which honestly, I don't know. I mean, I'll pick it up from time to time, or I'll either accidentally tap on it.
I have the little widget. I have like the little thing on my phone. Yeah, so I could just when I turn on my phone, I could just see like the little icons. Like when Kirby Air Riders got the direct announced, I seen Kirby Air Riders as like the main announcement, and I tapped on it.
Maybe I'll mess around with some widgets on that just so I can quickly see it without necessarily having like fully open up the app, and then from there if something interested is on there, then I guess I can go into the app and see more. But yeah, I mean it's kind of interesting how they took that approach and went with a no Pikmin in the first video. Then in that second one they dropped on Nintendo today, that's where all the Pikmin were there, basically same short, just with them fully visible. And it's like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. I feel like I think, and they basically said it was made by Nintendo Pictures, so the studio that's basically be behind just making short series, because Pikmin series has been known for like short stuff. Like there's been some videos and stuff like that on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily out of the you know out of the realm of possibility or just out of unusual things for that series
Yeah.
though. But I would love to
I,
be able to see Nintendo Pictures be able to not only just do this with Pikmin, but also be able to do it with other series. It kind of reminded me of what was it,
I want
Emio the
Metroid.
Smiling Man. Like when they did that one
Yeah.
short and got everybody talking about it, I guess they did the same effect of it, but with Pikmin this time. So love to see it with other Nintendo IPs as well.
Well, because yeah, when Nintendo just releases a video with nothing else, like it was just called Close to You. It wasn't called Close to You in Nintendo Shorts. It was just called Close to You,
Mm-hmm.
which was yeah, it was it was a little interesting. Either way though, like yeah, there's a decent amount of like interesting there's a decent amount of interesting things you can say about this short, about how you could say it's teasing some kind of like Pikmin thing coming up, but probably not. I think this was a little tech demo that they made that they wanted to test out and see what people would think about it, and it was a lot of advertising just to get people to just to reveal formally Nintendo Pictures. And
Yep.
I think it worked. And honestly, Nintendo Pictures, we'll see what they do with it. They might want to use Nintendo Pictures for cinematics in upcoming games, so they could just make all that in house. Who knows though? Maybe they're just gonna keep making shorts. Maybe Nintendo just wants a team that only makes these high quality, really well animated shorts that they could use for promotional material or this or that.
I think that's the whole reason why Nintendo Pictures is a thing. Part of it is
Yeah.
they can incorporate it into the games themselves. They'll do a little work with that. But then other stuff is prime example what we saw right here with the Pikmin short, where it's just basically being able to promote their any of their IPs at any given moment whenever they
Well,
feel like it. So yeah.
I was just thinking about it. They might also want to outsource to other studios. Like, oh, like maybe a company will be like, "Hey, Nintendo Pictures, can you make this for us?" I don't
Yeah.
know. Nintendo just wants their piece, all fingers in every pie. Nintendo, unlike other companies, seems like it can actually afford to make new jobs instead of laying people off. Crazy, I know.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think Nintendo they're doing a good job at being able to do some stuff. It's weird, but it got people more interested or willing to talk about Pikmin, and I feel like than what normally people would. Kind of like how they did the same thing with Emio the Smiling Man. A whole lot more people talk about that than who would ever mess around with a Famicom Detective Club game series thing though. So yeah, outside of that, there wasn't too much more to say about it. And on that note, that's basically going to do it in terms of all of our topics that we have for this evening of the ZardCast podcast, though. So, yeah, quite a bit to go over. Honestly, I thought the show was going to be a little bit shorter, though, but when the Marvel stuff popped up, we kind of tore up into that, though. But,
Yeah, we didn't really talk about it much the last few times, so
yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, no, all's good and all's fair. So it played out quite nicely, if I do say so myself. All righty, Steven. Well, let the fine people know where they can find you at.
You can find me on Twitter at Steven Jr. 1231. And you can find me on a collab channel that I used to do with some friends. The up videos are still available. It's called Spaghetti Disco on YouTube.
All righty. And that's going to basically do it in terms of my Zarcast episode. Oh, gosh. What number is this? Oh, no. Uh, Getting close. Aha. In terms of my Zarcast episode number 113. Gosh, I have too many things going on all my screens right now. I apologize about that. Anyway, though, that's going to do it for this episode, though. So if you really like this episode, make sure you're going to hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell to stay up to date. All things video game related, I feel like talking about and discussing. And if you're one of those people that happen to be listening on one of my audio only formats, whether it be YouTube Music, Amazon Music, Apple Music, Spotify. Yes, you can even listen to me in the car with iHeartRadio. Just let everybody know and just, get this like a 5-star review. Just let people know, hey, This is just a podcast where just a couple dudes just really love gaming, pop culture, Marvel, and everything else in between. Just let people know that, hey, we just love, enjoy, and talk about these topics every couple of weeks. We just sit around and just shoot the stuff. With whatever happens to be going on and transpiring the past couple of weeks. But that's going to do it for this episode right here, though. So remember, y'all, until our video I make next, into my next ZardCast episode 114, I'll see y'all later.